Yeah, DC, it's doing great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Some changes have been made, and it's like, it's cruising, dude. I just got my new shoe that came out called the Ascend, and I swear to God, it's my favorite pro shoe. One of my pro shoes is my favorite one I've had.
Well, we were just talking about, like, I mean, the amount of pro shoes that you've had. 13 to 15, something like that, colorways is just, it's crazy. Would you design each and every one of them? Would you have your input in on them? Or would sometimes they would just be like, hey, here's a shoe. We think that this would be good for you.
In the earlier days, I was way more involved.
Okay.
Mainly just from an aesthetic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And then as different designers were coming in and doing their thing, like they kind of get tasked with that. And then they'll ask a gang of questions like, hey, what do you think? What kind of materials you want to use? What do you want to look? What do you want it to look like? Da da da. And then it's kind of a back and forth type thing. But I'm not with a pen and paper anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about when you did your Kalis 1? It has a toe cap on it. Was that just because the Lynx had the toe cap? You wanted to put that in something newer in with your name on it? What was that like?
Dude, the Kalis 1, I actually drew the Lynx with just the tiniest bit of change and was like, this is what I want my shoe. And Dirty was like, dude, there's already a Lynx. You can't have a Lynx. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone thinks the Lynx my shoe anyway.
Right. All right. We are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today we have a very special.
Yeah.
Special guest, Mr. Josh Kalis is with us, dude. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are very good. Glad that you're here.
My heart is warm. I'm having heart palpitations, actually, having Josh Kalis sitting right here in front of me, man.
Yeah, I'm all bundled up. I just came fresh off the plane from Michigan.
How was the weather?
Thanks
over
for joining
there?
us.
Actually, you know what? We've had a great fall, like a nice warm fall.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No snow or anything? What's
Not
going
yet.
on? Yeah, you got a frost going on there?
We'll get frost in the morning, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. But usually October starts getting cold and wet. In November, it could definitely snow.
Okay.
But, man, it was like 70 degrees.
Ooh,
Days
that's
ago,
nice, yeah.
So, like, when it snows, do you go out and, like, build a snowman and, like, do all that fun stuff?
Sometimes when my kids were younger, we used to, yeah.
Oh, no, I just meant, like, by yourself.
Sometimes.
Okay. I that's what I would do.
To reminisce, you know?
Yeah. Charcoal, carrot.
Yeah, but it all
Scarf?
depends on the snow because sometimes you don't get the sticky snow. And sometimes it's too sticky and it picks up all the leaves. And,
Oh, really? You have a dirty snowman.
yeah, we can be dirty. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't clean up all our leaves in the fall because we like the leaves to go back into the soil. You know, makes the soil.
It's
good.
Something.
Yeah.
Replenish?
Rejuvenates
There it
itself
is,
or
there it
something.
is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How does it feel being back in Michigan? Like you've traveled the world. You went from Michigan to all these different places and lived a bunch of different places. How did it feel to be back now?
I love it. To me,
Yeah.
it's the greatest place there is, really.
Yeah.
I kind of treat it as a suburb to Philadelphia and Chicago and New York.
Hmm.
How far is it from each one of those?
Well, normally I would drive to Chicago, which is about 2.5 hours. If you fly, it's like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Flying to Philly's like an hour and 10 minutes, and
Not
New
bad.
York is like an hour and 15 minutes.
Not bad. But you said you can drive around. I mean, 2 hours is not bad.
Yeah.
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 It's like, what? How to drive to Philly? What's that? 4 hours maybe?
From Michigan?
Yeah.
12.
Oh, 12.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it was like an hour flight.
Yeah. It's like an hour and 10
Really?
minute flight. Yeah.
I got my math wrong. Man.
Wasn't math.
You're not
Because
good at math,
when
Chris.
you're driving there, you got to go down and you go through Ohio and
Okay.
Pennsylvania and all that.
Yeah.
But when you fly, you just fly right over the lakes. Yeah.
Oh, the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Michigan, it's just good to be. I mean, you got your family there. You're raising a family and all that stuff, right? So
Yeah, family's kind of raised already. But,
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
How old are the
you?
kids now?
Yeah.
Jalen is 25 and Kaz is 13.
Are you serious? Wait, I feel like just yesterday I'm watching in the little car in the cul-de-sac doing donuts and
Bruh.
stuff. Like
We all
we're
remember
already
that.
13 years
yeah,
into
she's
this.
13, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she still driving cars and doing stuff, or?
She's got a little dirt bike and actually she had a mini side by side that we just got rid of because she outgrew it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she still drives from time to time.
Okay.
It's not really her thing.
No.
And plus she's in the age of being so social. And yeah, she was never really actually into driving. She was just super good at it. Like ridiculously naturally talented.
Even the side by side, that's off road.
Yeah.
I rode with Letitia Buffoni in one of those. She scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I almost wet myself. It
Yeah, that's cool.
was nuts.
Yeah, and then all those viral videos and stuff. It actually it got kind of crazy with like Ellen DeGeneres reaching out and America's Got Talent reaching out.
way.
Really,
Dude, even we came across a Joe Biden presidential campaign that had her clip in it.
What? Yeah, right.
Yeah, and we
Wow.
definitely try to get paid for that.
As you should.
Yeah.
Be using my shit.
Yeah, and so we sent a cease and desist, but also a bill. And they didn't pay the bill.
They
but
didn't pay the bill?
Nah, but they took the video down.
Wow.
But I mean, that's something cool. Presidential campaign.
That's
you know?
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even realize that all these people reaching out. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's made quite a lot of money actually
Okay.
because we would license some of her videos out to like the NAACP or Chase Bank. Yeah. So they would pay to use these clips.
So she's got a nice little nest egg
She
going
does,
on
yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
how much are we talking, man? Are we going to college? Is she going to college off of this?
Well,
or we-
the most she made, she did a commercial for. You ever heard of Renault?
No.
You've heard of Renault? It's like Mercedes,
It's like a car company. Right?
but it's just North America. They don't sell cars.
Okay.
And they flew her out to Montreal, and they wanted to make a small copy of that car, and they couldn't figure it out. So my buddy who built her cars, because we would cut out power wheels and make full chassis and all that stuff for her cars.
Oh wow.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Like her little cars went 30 miles an hour.
Seriously.
So Renault made the body, sent us the body, and then my buddy built out the whole chassis, and then flew her to Montreal, and she did a full $1 million commercial and stuff.
We were just looking at really.
Yeah,
Look, this is what it is
that
here.
was,
Like,
that was it.
yeah.
this is a little article. 6 years old, known for being an expert driver of her electric toy Ferrari car. Her dad,
Yeah.
pro street skateboarder, John.
That's me.
John set up an Instagram account for her. Those gained a large following. It's amazing. I mean, I used to watch her do donuts and stuff. It's
It
cool.
was a treat,
Yeah.
bro.
I like that you guys made a little career out of it, or a little nest egg. We should
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
But because she wasn't necessarily into it, I never try to pressure her into doing it. And eventually, she grew out of those little cars, and we would have fun driving the bigger stuff. But it was something that I just never really. I'm not gonna. Yeah, she can do what she wants.
Yeah.
And still to this day, if she wants to go drive, we'll go drive. But if she doesn't,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Look at that. It's cool.
Yeah.
So are you living close to where you grew up?
I live in the suburbs of where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah. And growing up there, I actually didn't like it very much. I thought it was like a really small town. It was maybe kind of boring. So my mom lived in New York City, and I don't know, maybe when I was like 12 or 13, I started going to visit her in New York. And I kind of had free reign. She would just let me go do my thing. And me and my buddy from down the street would just hop on the L train. And I swear, I thought we were going all over New York City, but probably we were just in Queens. Yeah.
You didn't have the
Yeah.
patience to take the road trip all the way up.
Were you
Yeah.
skating at this point?
Yeah, I had just started skating, and I remember like seeing some big quarter pipe in the back of like a grocery store complex or a mini ramp in this kid's backyard in Brooklyn, like little things that we would go check out from time to time because I would stay with her in the summers.
Okay.
And just recently I was talking to Jeff Pang, and he put a picture up of something. I was like, hey, I remember that, and he was like, what? You were here back then? I'm like, yeah, remember that quarter pipe? And
Really?
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow.
So when I would come back from New York and I'd be in Michigan, I mean, I had really strict rules here. my dad hated skateboarding, so
Oh, really?
yeah. So I'd always have to sneak out and sneak around and hop on the bus, and it was such a difference between New York and Michigan. Michigan was like boring.
So that's why you didn't like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, too many rules and just small.
yeah.
New York, you had free reign of Brooklyn.
Why didn't your dad?
Queens.
Queens, yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't your dad like skateboarding?
I don't know, to be honest. I think he thought it was like too punk rock, druggish, not controllable, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And back then too, it was kind of an unknown, right? Nobody. It's just it's like a punk thing.
yeah.
How did he feel about it after the fact when you started getting recognized for your skateboarding and actually started making some money?
Well, that was a long time. Like, we had been through so much. These headphones are kind of killing me.
You're good.
Hold on, anxiety's kicking in. The anxiety's kicking in. It's not just y'all that get it.
The skating going back and forth from New York to Michigan.
Yeah.
And then kind of just starting to skate from there and figuring. Because you said you like would go back home, you'd sneak out. You know, how do you? That seems like a very tough thing to do when you're a kid, to sneak out all the time and do something that you love and then come back.
Yeah, dude. It was growing up in Michigan with my dad as a skateboarder was gnarly, dude. Like, yeah, he was super anti it. And he was so anti it that he had a baseball card collection, and I would steal some cards and take them to like a baseball card shop, and I would sell them.
Really? Like good ones?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like the illest one was this like Al Kaline rookie card, or Mickey Mantle card, or Jackie Robinson, or like whatever. I mean, that's the only way I could get skateboards.
How much were you getting?
I don't remember enough to buy a couple of them.
Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't like hundreds of dollars.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
maybe like $100 or $200 or something. But I probably didn't know the real value of the cards.
Little kid coming in there, they're like, here's a couple bucks, kid.
He's
We'll
like,
take this Mickey Mantle card off your hands.
Yeah, well, I would go straight to the skate shop by me, was called Wind Waves and Wheels. And I'd go there and I'd buy whatever, usually a world board.
Okay.
I think those were my favorite back then, or an 8th Street board maybe. And yeah, and then I would hide the board so he couldn't see it.
Seriously, it was that
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would I only knew one skater from my middle school, so in the morning I would throw my board out the window, and then when I would leave to go to school, I'd pick my board back up and shuffle down the street and then skate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you probably did most of your skating in New York, I would assume.
No. I definitely did most of my skating in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you actually move out of there? Did you move directly? You moved to New York.
No.
Where'd you move to?
No. I moved out of Grand Rapids. I moved to Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't your dad moved to Dallas?
Yeah, he got a
Okay.
job transfer.
That's right.
And that was actually the first time I went to Woodward, because him and his wife thought that I would like fuck up their move somehow, I guess is what he told me. So they sent me to Woodward.
Woodward, PA.
Yeah. I actually went to my mom's, who by that time moved from New York to a suburb of Philadelphia.
Okay.
And then I think she drove me to Woodward. I don't even remember how I got there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, though. Woodward, PA is right there.
Yeah. And I was at Woodward for a week while my dad did the move down to Texas. And I swear when I was at Woodward, I think like Vinnie Ponte was there and Jeff Pang were there and like Tim O'Connor maybe.
Wow.
I might be like confusing a couple different Woodwards.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude. I forgot about this. So in Grand Rapids, I sent a sponsor me tape to excuse me, to a company called Renegade.
I've heard of Renegade, yeah.
It was Kevin Staub.
Okay.
And he actually, dude, handwritten shit. And I'm talking like curbs, like parking block skating or whatever. I don't even remember what it was. And he was like, yeah, I would love to send you boards. So he actually sent me some Renegade boards. And they were so big that the boards that I was buying from Wind Waves and Wheels, using that money from stealing the cards, I would trace out, and my dad had a wood shop, and I would go down and jigsaw out the shape. And that's what I skated. Yeah, I would skate
The Renegade boards, you modify them.
Yeah,
Right.
So the first time I went to Woodward, that's what I skated was modified Renegade boards, or maybe they were Shine boards because Renegade
I think it was Shine.
switched from, was it Shine?
Shine was the company. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before Shine, it was Renegade though.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember the Woodward kids were like clowning me for that because I didn't have sanded down edges. Or anything.
Sharp ass edges.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't remember. I've been to Woodward a couple times.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say, didn't you get hooked up by like H Street or something when you went to Woodward one time?
yeah, I don't.
Was that later?
No, that had to be that trip.
Really?
Yeah, it had to be that trip. Actually, yeah, I'd only been to Woodward as a camper. It had to been only once, I guess, unless I'm forgetting something. But yeah, I met some of those H Street guys there. Like, dude, there was so much moving around between Michigan, New York, and Pennsylvania and Texas. I probably have like dates
I mean, yeah.
messed up, but
Right.
but yeah, I was a huge fan of H Street.
I mean, bro, look at this right here.
Wow.
H Street. What is
Yeah,
this?
that's
H
I
Street
think
Lick.
that's a Shine board.
That's
that
a
red
Shine
one.
board?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's Woodward back then. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's Dallas.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Footage is insane. I mean, how old were you at this point?
Can't late shove it.
I don't know, dude.
15? Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Okay. Those pants are those
I
fun
remember.
pants.
I remember those pants.
I mean, you could probably date it just by
The wardrobe.
Wait, was there a point when your dad though, like, your dad came okay with it?
No.
Look, so the whole time you're doing this, he's not cool.
Oh, it got worse.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I got disowned from grandpa. Like, hey, you can't come Thanksgiving anymore.
What?
Yeah, it had a lot to do with not just me being a skater. Although they would be like, my grandpa told me one time. He says, "Hey, a baseball player takes his jersey, his baseball outfit off when he's not playing baseball." And I was like, "What the fuck you mean by that?" Like, oh, because I dress as a skater every day, And yeah, I mean, we wore some like pretty ridiculous stuff, and
I mean,
we would cut our hairs and bleach them, and
right.
but there was a time where I wasn't in school anymore, and that was after Dallas, or sometime in Dallas. Like, me and my pops just did not get. I mean, we didn't get along at all, and I'm trying to remember. I spent a lot of time in the city of Dallas, and we lived in Rockwall, Texas, which was like north of Dallas. And the high school I went to, oh man, I'm trying to remember. They had this football team that was like, dude, so Texan. And I was hanging out with like hoods in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah. And I would come back to Rockwall to go to school. And I remember one time I was walking in the courtyard at lunch, and the football team just came right up to me and like started talking shit. And so I started talking shit about their big belt buckles. And next thing you know, I felt threatened, so I punched this dude as hard as I could, and he didn't even flinch, dude. He was like, he took that punch like
Like a fly.
and then he just looked at me, and I'm like, oh my God. And next thing I knew, I was on my back, and my CD player and batteries and everything went everywhere. And I looked up, and it was like the whole football team was like, they're about to beat my ass, dude. And I'm still trying to talk shit. And they didn't beat my ass. Like, they were like, it's not worth it, Robbie. Yeah, I'll never forget that. It ain't worth it, Robbie. It ain't worth it. So I picked all my shit up and walked back through the courtyard. And when I got to the top of the 4 stairs to get back into school, I got pantsed.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
I was wearing like fucked shorts or what,
Yeah.
And whoosh, somebody pantsed me, balls out, everything.
Oh my God, dude.
Got
And
a
I
hold of them
just-
boxers too.
I just lifted my shirt up and was like, "That's what y'all want to see? That's what y'all want to see?" pulled my shit back up and went to school. And what's funny is like they never fucked with me after that. Ever.
Robbie and the football team.
Yeah,
and everybody,
That was it.
That was it. I mean, I did like a day or two later, like my Dallas homies showed up with lowriders and picked me up from school and kind of flexed on everybody a little bit. I don't know if that really had anything to do with it, but honestly, I didn't have many problems in that anymore, but I really didn't like being there.
Was there other skaters at the school? Or were you?
No.
You were the only skater.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The only one for sure.
Okay.
But I started spending more time down in Dallas. And I think if I remember right, my dad and his wife went on some trip or something like that. So we had a couple of us stayed at his house. No parties or nothing.
Okay.
But when they got home, they saw the cigarette butts outside, and his wife went bananas on me, dude. Like, grabbed me, ripped my shirt, ripped my herringbone chain. Then my dad came in and started trying to fight me, and they were saying, like, they thought I threw parties in the house and all this stuff, and which I didn't. Like, we would party down in Dallas. Rockwall was like kind of like a get away from it all.
Okay.
And sometime after that, man, it's kind of blurry, but I think I got caught stealing. Because what we would do is we'd go into like a Marshalls or something that had the Pumas.
Okay.
Yeah. And they just had this little like plastic thing that held the Pumas together, and we would bring nail clippers and clip them out, and then put the Pumas on our feet and put our old shoes on the back on the rack and just walk out.
Right. Okay.
But I forgot the fingernail clippers, so we stopped at the grocery store to grab fingernail clippers.
Oh my God.
And I put them in my jacket, and we walked out, and I straight got tackled.
Wow.
Yeah, I got tackled by the security guard over fingernail clippers.
Oh, this is for the. You didn't even got to the shoes yet.
I hadn't
This
even
is
got to the
fingernail.
shoes.
This is the probably 85-cent nail clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we ain't had 85 cents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So anyway, they take me and my boy upstairs, and I thought it was such a big deal for fingernail clippers, but anyway, come to find out, I had been reported as a runaway by my dad.
Really?
Yeah, which it was like a weekend. Like I was just down there on a weekend, so I don't know what that was about.
Crazy.
But anyway, so I went to jail. I went to juvie for a few days. It was pretty entertaining. There was like mad gangsters in there throwing up gang signs and what you in here for? And I'll be like, I stole fingernail clippers, and they were like, what? Yeah, like it was actually kind of funny. It kind of saved me a little bit because like everyone thought it was so ridiculous. Maybe they thought I was bullshitting or something.
Right.
But anyway, my dad actually came and got me out of that, and I asked him, why didn't you just get me out the night I got in there? And he's like, I need to teach me a lesson and this, that, and
Okay.
so that kind of drove even more of a separation between us. And I can't remember. I don't remember how like this bounty hunter guy. There was a time where I got locked up again for something. Like I would get locked up in jail all the time, like my whole life, dude.
Really?
Yeah, nonstop go to jail. And it was only for like overnights or charges would get dismissed or you wouldn't even get charged with anything. But like if I got in an argument with a guy outside of a store because like he thought I cut in line or I would cut in line, or it would just escalate into like, fuck you, here come the cop, and I would go to jail.
Okay.
I go to jail every single time for anything. Michigan, Texas, Philly, San Francisco.
Huh.
Like, anyway. And I'm not even bullshitting. Mikey thought I was probably bullshitting about some of this, but I brought him down to Dallas recently and introduced him to a couple of my homies back then. Some of the ones that are left. Everyone else is dead or locked up or whatever. But yeah, like, am I bullshitting? I'm not bullshitting. Like, yeah, I don't know why it would jail. They'd always take me to jail, but I never got like convicted of anything.
Okay. What was your longest stint you did in there?
Like real jail or juvie? few days.
Few days, okay.
Yeah, a few days.
Huh.
But anyway, so I'm in jail, and this blonde haired, it was straight albino, like red eyes and the whole nine. Yeah, he came and got me and took me to what I later found out was actually a crisis prevention center. I always thought it was like some mental institution.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did 3 months in Houston. They transferred me to Salt Lake City, Utah. And then, yeah, it was nuts, dude. Like, no idea what I was doing there. No idea. And, like, getting injected with Thorazine and being around, like, people that are, like, really fucked up.
Jeez.
And, yeah, I would have no idea. I thought maybe it was for whatever I was in jail for that time, which could have been an argument or it could have been like stealing fingernail clippers.
They never told you like, oh, we're taking you here because of this.
They told me that it was the state of Texas.
Huh.
Yeah, the state of Texas put me in. And I like driving to the place from Dallas to Houston. I mean, the guy like pulled his gun out and told me state of Texas tells me I can do whatever I can do to, you know, for you not to run, so don't run, and had me take all these psych exams.
Jeez.
It was really bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know it sounds vague, like the way I'm talking about it, but to be honest, it was very vague. So anyway, yeah, one day that guy showed up after the transfer from Houston to Salt Lake City, and he was like, "You're going home." Yeah, and he told me that it was my dad who put me in there, and it was his insurance company that was paying for it. But I had snuck a phone call in to my mom, and somehow she like got a hold of somebody to figure out what this was all about. And I think it was literally my dad being like, "Fuck this. Like, I don't want to deal with this kid."
Send him out, send him away.
Yeah, whatever it was. And it was like a 9-year program.
God damn.
Yeah, it was like, or maybe it was 6-year. I think it was 3-year in the facility. Yeah, 6-year. 3-year in the facility and then like a 3-year independent living or something like that. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is still because whenever I bring it up to my dad, because me and my dad have a great relationship now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's good.
I'll bring it up. I'll be like, "What was that place?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I could have got you out anytime." I'm like, "No." Like, for real, what was it? He's like, "Well, what do you mean? You only were in there for like 3 weeks." And I'm like, "What? No." Let me verify that. So I would hit up my boys and be like, "Man, am I tripping? Was I in there for 3 weeks?" And they were like, "Nah, dude, you were in there for like almost a year." Yeah.
Jeez.
It was like 6 months. So anyway, when I got out of that, I looked at it like being around my dad and living with him and his wife was just absolutely pointless.
Right.
And by that time, my mom had lived or moved from Queens, New York to suburb of Philly. And I remember I had visited her at some point prior to all this. Oh, probably right before I was going to Woodward.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it was. And I met some skaters out there around her way. She lived in Levittown, Pennsylvania, which is Bucks County. And I met these kids, and I was like, "Man, let's go downtown Philadelphia." And after they made fun of the way I say downtown, like some Michigan accent, they clowned on me. We went downtown Philly.
Okay.
And we skated Love Park before Love Park was even... I think there was one dude maybe like rolling around.
Okay.
There was you didn't even notice that there were ledges up top because the bushes were covering the ledges, but that's where we skated because the 3 stairs that went around the fountain were like super smooth, and that was super fun to skate. And we had a great time. And I couldn't tell you what year that was. Maybe like, if I were to guess, 92, 93.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. But anyway, going back to Dallas, I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to stay at my mom's house. And I had never, outside of living with my mom for a certain amount of time during the summers, you know, my mom and dad split up when I was 2, so I hadn't really spent a whole type of livable time with my mom. So I went out there to do that, and that didn't last very long either. And like, yeah, that didn't last very long either, because now all I want to do is go down to Philly. And that's when I've really, like, very first started meeting like all the Love kids, like the early Love kids.
But they weren't there at Love Park, were they?
Well, by this time they were.
Okay.
Yeah, by this time there was like skaters there.
There. Okay.
Yeah, and the main skaters were Ricky Oyola, Matt Reason, Sergey Tradonsky, and then like a whole slew of other guys. But and I love that because like I loved it so much that I was enrolled in school up at my mom's house, but I barely went. And I just wanted to be in Philly, and it reminded me so much of like the type of skateboarding that I loved watching when I was growing up, which was all the EMB stuff.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. And knowing that I could never be a part of EMB, and not even really wanting to be a part of it because it wasn't my scene. But just loving how it looked on film and the little clips from like Quiet Storm. You know that video?
I don't know if I know Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
What was that?
Like it was kind of like a 411 before 411.
Okay.
And there was just like this like maybe 30-second clip at EMB the first time I ever saw it, and it was like Carroll 360 flips the 7 and Henry Sanchez big spins the 7, and like I think like Wade Spares like doing a little flacker. I don't know. But there was just people everywhere and sitting on the ledges, and ever since I saw that, I was like, holy shit, that's yeah. All I did was like follow anything EMB, any magazines, any videos. I honestly didn't give a shit about anything else except for EMB stuff.
I mean, that kind of was the pinnacle moment of EMB. I think the whole world was looking at EMB
Definitely
at that point in time.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
the whole world was.
The inspiration it gave me to like
Create that and in Philly?
No, not even then. It was
Okay.
like the idea of skating as more the merrier, rather than like some 8th Street videos or Powell videos or anything like that. They were cool to watch, and I really did like watching Hocus Pocus. But I actually separated the plaza skating before you thought of it as plaza skating from other street skating, because like EMB was just like this place where there was characters, and man, I don't. It was just a feeling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And by this time, like skateboarding had straight took over my life as just being a skateboarder. That's all I gave a shit about. I didn't care about making money or turning pro or like none of that was even like in my brain. I just wanted to like try to skate like these EMB dudes and try to like be a part of a community that was like something like EMB, you know?
What point, you said you started skating like at Love, and there was like the 3 stairs, you could skate that. What point did you start to realize what was actually going on, like the spots at Love?
Well, that first time I was there, like skating around the 3 stair, you know, there's probably a couple year from when I came back.
Oh, okay.
Like after the Dallas stuff.
And so then you started seeing Ricky there, and then all the stuff that was actually possible to skate there.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I was still trying to stay at my mom's house, but she wasn't having it. She was like, I don't even know where you are on the weekends. Like, we butted heads pretty hard. And my mom can be really hard to deal with, and I'm sure I can be really hard to deal with. And like we just split.
Where'd you go?
I went downtown Philly and couch surfed.
Okay.
Yeah, I couch surfed. But my grandparents on my dad's side back in Michigan knew that I wasn't in school, and they straight up were like blacklisted me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were like, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Found that EMB footage.
Oh, here we go.
Straight after this.
Is this? That's
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what changed. I'm gonna tell you what changed my life.
Wow.
That
during
clip,
the contest, yeah.
and then Carroll's tray flip changed my entire life, dude. Like, I'll show you right here.
This one? That's
Wow.
They didn't even show the landing.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you what changed my life about that tray flip is I'd never, ever seen anyone catch the board on the way up of the trick.
Oh,
Damn.
okay.
Yeah, like he caught it at either on the way up or at peak height, and that was it for me. I was like, that's how you skate.
Wow. Is that the inspiration from your tray flips right there?
That's inspiration for my whole entire career.
So
I swear to God, dude, this little 30-second clip is like, to me, that's the culture of street skateboarding.
Yeah.
It changed for me. It wasn't about going to a spot. It wasn't about, it was only about going to one place and hanging out with your skate family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All the rest of the stuff was cool, but it didn't matter anymore.
I could see how that could be a very, with everybody around and people hanging out, like very enticing.
Yeah, but see, when I was young, like, dude, I was grounded for half my life, dude. I was stuck in my room for weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad would put a nail on the door with a rubber band from the outside handle to the nail. And when he went to work, so if I had to, like, leave my room for whatever reason, he would know.
Wow. Jeez.
Windows nailed shut. Yeah, I mean, I was probably doing some shit, but I definitely wasn't doing some shit to deserve that when I was like, 9, 10, 11 years old.
It's like imprisonment.
Yeah, and so I don't know, maybe seeing a scene like that with all those people together is, maybe it's tied in. I don't know, whatever. But that's what I love. So when I got to Philly and now there's Ricky and this whole crew at Love, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking, it's amazing. It's not EMB.
Right.
And even back then I didn't really trip on like granite ground yet or granite ledges. It was just, I mean, I wished it would have been brick so it sounded like EMB or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, let me skate with all these guys. And that's when I first met Stevie and Bam. And,
Okay.
who else? I don't know. It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And yeah, I mean, it was going good.
Did you get accepted into that group right away, or what happened with that?
I thought I was getting accepted. I'm trying to put the dates together or like the time span together in my head, because I feel like it was like years, but it might only have been like a year.
I'm trying to think of too, like, when did Stevie start skating? Like, what year was that? Because he's like younger than us, right? So, like, what year could he have been, Lil Stevie, back then? Like,
I don't know, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not confusing like two different times I lived. No, this was definitely the time that me and my mom split up.
well, 1994 was your 411 Wheels of Fortune, issue 9. Does that help?
No,
That
'cause
probably came
was-
later, right?
That was way later.
That was
Yeah.
later.
That's
Yeah.
94.
So 94. So we're talking 92, 93.
You know what? I could probably, if I pulled my phone out of my pocket, randomly, it's kind of on topic, but
Yeah.
what's his name? Remember that skater? He was pro for a little while. His name was Jerry
Fowler.
Fowler.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Fowler like randomly reached out to me recently, and he said, "Hey, we came across like all these old photos from Love from that era."
Okay.
And
Jeremy Traub.
yeah, the Jeremy Traum find.
Okay.
And anyway, he was like, "Do you remember this?" And he sent me a sequence of me doing a nollie big heel down the 6. And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that." Damn, I can't believe I didn't remember shooting a sequence of it. But I remember now, I started remembering because I put it together that that guy Jeremy was going to do the very first Philadelphia article in a magazine. Yeah. And he kind of gravitated towards me and Stevie and our little crew, because
Okay.
we had our crew, and the older guys like Ricky and Sergey and them had their crew.
So there was 2 crews.
Yeah, they were like the Sub-Zero guys. you
Oh,
know?
yeah. Okay.
They were the guys.
Were you guys cool with each other?
Yeah,
Or okay.
I thought we were cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we were cool.
Get into some,
That's when they had the moment for sure.
Yeah, but
Sub-Zero was huge. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
it was literally amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, this photographer comes through and he starts shooting photos with us, and then he stopped shooting photos with us. And then the rumor that we heard, excuse me, was that Ricky told the photographer to not shoot us young kids because we were just some dirty ghetto kids.
That's when
DGK.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? He stopped shooting us, and the article came out, and it was all the other guys. And
Ricky just wanted the for himself, probably.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what it was.
Okay.
And like, I was kind of naive with any of that kind of stuff. Like, the only time I would have beef with somebody is like if they literally like stepped up and had beef. Like talking shit or calling somebody Dirty Ghetto Kids, like that shit was like, I didn't even get it.
Okay.
But Stevie, he's a different person. He understands that stuff. He instantly saw that and was like, man, we some Dirty Ghetto Kids, and created the crew, the DGK crew in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, like, and I was still kind of like naive to all that, you know, whatever. Okay, we're hanging out with these dudes.
Right.
And then the Love Park contest came around, which I have photos from that too, because the Transworld guy shot those, and Jerry just sent them to me. And the night before the contest, I was staying at the normal house I stay, mattress on the floor in the living room or whatever. And there was a girl that at the time was Ricky's girlfriend, and she came over and she was hanging out, and it was kind of awkward, and it was like, you can't be hanging out, like you're Ricky's girl, like that ain't happening. And there's like 15 dudes sleeping on the floor in this room, and so I didn't even really think anything of that either until the next day. The park or the contest happens, and imagine this shit. Contest happens, which was bananas, like people pissing in cups and throwing on piss on people. And dude, Love Park was crazy back in the day. If you came through and were wearing some like weird pants or something like that, like somebody's gonna piss in a cup and pour it over your head, and
Jeez. Dude.
yeah, steal your board. Like, I know dudes put in comas and
God damn.
smacked over the head with boards and steal your board and sell it back to you. And
These are skaters or just people that hung out at Love?
this is skaters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Early to mid 90s.
Yeah, it was
Right.
gnarly.
Okay.
It was actually kind of gnarly.
Yeah.
But anyway, the contest happens, and then the after party was on the rooftop of Ricky Oyola's house. And so I used to smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
And I take my rip off the bong, and I'm like, I'm going up on the roof where everybody is. I'm talking everybody from Love Park, Philadelphia is up on this roof. And I'm like the last dude to get up there for some reason. And dude, I climbed the like escape ladder thing and hop over the thing, and I hop onto the roof, and it was like the music stopped. It was like, and the whole city just turned and looked at me. I'm talking everybody. Yeah. And Ricky goes, "The fuck you doing here?" And I was like, "What? Shut up." Like, whatever, you know? And he was like, "Nobody wants you here. Nobody likes you here. Get the fuck out of my house." And I look over, and everyone's up there, even my crew. Everyone's up there, and it's dead ass silent. And I was like, high as shit.
Okay.
And I was like, is this fucking real? And Ricky's like, the fuck out of here. If I ever see you at Love Park again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's what he said. So I turned around, went downstairs, grabbed my shit, and skated over to the house that I was staying at. I was like, yo, this just happened. And he's like, yeah, rumor is you hooked up with Ricky's girl.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? You know that didn't happen. And he's like, yeah, well, that's the rumor, like da-da-da-da. So I had to like kind of think long and hard about that. And it was kind of devastating to me. But at the same time, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go back to Michigan. So me and my, like, temporary.
Okay.
For a visit.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy, Eric from Philly, dude, we hopped on Amtrak and went to Michigan. And I ended up staying in Michigan and linked back up with my high school sweetheart, Olivia, who is now my wife. We've been married for quite a long time.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Definitely.
I had to just recently learn a lot about, what's the word? Huh? Validation.
Just recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She indirectly taught me about validation, but not to sidetrack the skate story here, but yeah, man, like we've been together a long time, and I never grew up like knowing about any kind of emotional empathy or validating, and you know, we would have pretty typical fights that could get kind of gnarly, and it never really understood why we would fight. Because we don't fight about like what normal couples would fight about. We fight about things to me that didn't make any sense. And it got to a point where I actually had to realize that it was me not understanding how to validate somebody. So shout out to Olivia, because she taught me a lot about that. She could have easily dipped out on me over the years, and she didn't.
Right.
And we got to a point to where I got to learn how to talk to her and validate her. And now I validate my kids, you know.
Okay.
I validate Jerron.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's a weird thing, because growing up the way I grew up, if I were to validate one of my homies back in the day, they'd have knocked my teeth out.
Okay.
But now I understand it a little bit more. So shout out to her. She's like the raddest chick in the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. High school sweethearts. Look at that.
Shout out Olivia.
So anyway, I get to Michigan, and I link back up with her, and then it was on. I'm like, I'm staying in Michigan, with the dreams of going to San Francisco to check out EMB. You know,
Still hadn't been there.
still hadn't been there.
Right.
Yeah.
You just letting this like Ricky Oyola thing just calm down, or you just getting away from that, or just think it was bullshit and let me do my own thing?
Well, it was always in the back of my head.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got to tap into that quite a bit over the next few years, not in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Because I went back to Dallas from Michigan. And I swear to God, out of all the cities I've lived in, like Dallas, I had the best time in Dallas. Dallas, my homies in Dallas are like real family.
Okay.
You know, it was probably like an age thing, and just the stuff we got into, and man, Dallas is a great city, man. There's a lot of really good people in Dallas. So anyway, I go back down to Dallas, and I'm back and forth, kind of going to Michigan to see Olivia, going to Dallas, trying to get her to Dallas.
Okay.
With still dreams of going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Eventually, she comes down to Dallas. Dude, it has to sidetrack again, because on Jamie Thomas comes down to Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't even know how to roll into all these chapters, like, because then next thing you know, there's like Invisible, and I end up going on tour, and Jamie's not on tour, and the whole story is actually really hard for me to like grasp how ridiculous it is, and the timelines, and trying to put them together.
Yeah.
And because now I'm going on tour with Invisible with a bunch of dudes I don't know,
Because Jamie Thomas wanted you to go on tour.
yeah, because I met Jamie in Philly randomly.
But then Jamie quit Invisible, so you were just stuck in this van with nobody you knew.
I don't even know how Jamie and I linked up in Dallas, but he came to Dallas. Dude, see, it's also confusing, because actually he came to Dallas after I got out of that crisis center.
Oh, wow.
But was that before I was in Philly? And honestly, it's all so like mashed up.
I would have guessed you would have met him at EMB, because he was living there. He was doing his thing. He was like, that's where he was kind of, but Dallas was it.
I met Jamie in Philly.
Yeah.
But we somehow linked up later in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we just filmed. And I swear to God, dude, I've said it before. It was like magic happened. Like, I'd never skated like that in my life. It was like a mix between Michigan, Texas, Philly, New York. It was like my styles and trick selections just mixed with all these different cities I had lived in already. I don't even know how it happened. Yeah, and offered me, to skate for Invisible and go on this Invisible tour. And so I did. And at the same time, Olivia is like going to meet me in Texas, but I got to go on this tour. So she just went down there like on her own with her friend.
Wow,
And
okay.
yeah, I don't know. I did this tour and it was a lot of fun. I think I like kind of freaked those guys out a little bit because I was a mix of all those cities. Weird accent. Was I like kind of a gangster, but I was a skater, and it just very confused dude, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah. But skater 1,000%. You know what I mean? Like skateboarding was my life. All I did was skate. Everything was like skate directly. And yeah, anyway, so I eventually got back to Dallas. Yeah, Jamie wasn't on the tour.
Right.
You know, I had to sit in the very back of the minivan on the bags. Yeah, yeah, because at that time, like a guy like John Reeves is telling you, like, nah, you ain't sitting shotgun, you know. And then Laban and those guys are like, you ain't sitting in the seat. Those are our seats. You're in the back. Yeah.
Wow.
They're probably saying the same thing. Like, who the hell is this kid? This is Jamie's kid that he wanted on the tour. Now Jamie's gone.
Yeah, but you know what? They hooked me up though, man. I got my very first ad in a skate magazine.
Invisible ad.
On the Invisible tour,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
And it said the amazing Josh Kalis on it.
The amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it was
You
a
could have
trip.
been like John the Man Reeves. You could have had the amazing Josh Kalis. You know? You could have stuck.
It's the whole thing is just bizarre to me. Dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Wait, so did Jamie, was he not there because he couldn't make it or just because he quit?
I heard he had quit.
Oh, and you didn't know that at that point?
Nah.
Well, because
Oh.
he then he got on Toy Machine.
Yeah, because it's not like we had cell phones.
Yeah.
Like texting each other and shit like that. The last time I heard from Jamie was like, hey, be here. They're going to pick you up. Dude, I don't even remember how we all talked. There's them Pumas I used to
There's
steal.
the Pumas.
Y'all thought I was bullshitting about it. Definitely didn't buy them, that's for sure.
Wow.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You're
Lost
just like,
in
show
America.
up here at this time and they're going to pick you up.
Dude, I don't remember.
So-
Right.
But it was definitely pick you up.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you a question though. So like the invisible thing happens, you get your first ad in the mag, and then Jamie Thomas gets on Toy Machine, right? And then he wanted you on Toy Machine immediately, right? This is what I heard. How did you even get in contact? How did you guys link up again?
I
Phone
don't rem-
call?
It had to
He
be
track you down?
No, it had to
Yeah.
be over the phone.
Right.
But I don't remember how we did that.
Right. Where were you at
I
the
don't
time?
even remember where I was staying.
Were you in SF
Dallas.
back then, or
Oh,
no?
you know what? I was in Dallas and I was staying at my boy Dewan's parents.
See, like, how does Jamie get Dewan's and parents' number?
Yeah.
like this is what I'm saying.
I don't.
Like,
I do not remember, dude.
Where is he at? Dewan's. Look, let me get his number. Like, I don't know. The skate shop. Like,
Dude,
how does this work?
No,
It's
actually,
crazy.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. But like me and Dewan were living like on some grimy shit, you know. Yeah,
In Dallas.
in Dallas.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you make it to SF though? Did you go?
So
Is
SF,
this Toy Machine era when you were?
the very first time. Yeah. Okay.
Because Jamie had to have been there.
So Jamie
right?
told me if I could make it to San Diego, that I could stay at his place.
Okay, he was down in SD.
Yeah. And so my dad had a Cessna airplane. You know those little ones with the propeller on it and shit?
Scare the hell out of me. Those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never been on one, but
Well, I've been on one. that one time. Because I asked him, and he was like, you know what? He was like, yeah, I'll fly you out there, but you got to pay for gas money. So, dude, I don't even remember how I got the money, man. But
you got gas money for his Cessna plane to fly you from Dallas to San Diego.
yeah.
Wow.
And Olivia and her friend
Yeah.
from Michigan were in Dallas now. And so I wasn't going to leave her, you know, so I said, let's go. But we hit the weight limit on the plane with our bags. I mean, dude, the plane's tiny,
Yeah.
super tiny. Like somebody had to sit shotgun, like they were flying.
Can you go directly from Dallas?
No.
You have to stop.
Yeah, we
probably
had to
like
stop
5 times.
I don't know how many times we stopped. But we hit the weight limit,
Right.
and I didn't want the girls to not have their stuff, so I left all my shit.
Okay,
I
wow.
went to San Diego with nothing, except my lady, her friend, and
Did you leave your board at all? Like everything.
I think I left everything.
Damn.
I think
Okay.
maybe I had a
Okay,
board.
right.
I don't know. But yeah, my dad, man, out of all people, flew my ass to San
And
Diego.
this is this is before SF, right? This is
Yeah.
before you lived. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're in SD now.
Now we're in
Jamie
SD.
Thomas.
Mhm.
Is he asking you to like? Is this like you want you to ride for Toy Machine, or is just come and stay with me and try to skate?
He said, man, it was something along the lines of, if you can make it to California, you can stay at my house and like we'll figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I don't remember. Like I don't even remember how we like connected on phones and shit.
Was
like
San
that.
Diego even like a place you really wanted to go to?
Nah, I had no desire.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
But I did have my heart set on EMB.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know you were close. I mean, now we're in SD.
I
Now
wanted to
we're
get
like
to EMB, yeah.
hours away.
But
from
dude, I had an awesome time staying at Jamie's house.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
Well,
The Alien House was right across.
I was
going
going to ask about that. Yeah.
Yep. And so I hung out with those guys quite a bit because they were a little bit more my speed, you know, with the dominoes and the drinking,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
partying, and yeah.
More your style skating too. I would imagine
For sure.
Or maybe.
Yeah, I didn't even skate with those guys.
Oh, really?
Nah, we just hung out.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I would skate with Jamie during the day.
Well, Jamie's a workhorse, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's all about filming and making it happen. And did you like his style?
No. No, I couldn't stand it. I
Okay.
honestly couldn't stand like getting in the whatever car, going to a spot, like trying to trick at the spot. It was so fucking boring, dude. It was like, it sucked.
Some people love that, and some people don't. Can't do
Yeah,
it.
I couldn't stand it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I had a great time with Jamie. Like
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot without, I just learned a lot by just watching, but it was really tough to see how mechanical, is that the right word? Mechanical, the filming and the skating was. Yeah, I just didn't really like that.
You probably didn't understand what was going. Jamie, obviously, since day one, he's got a vision, right? He's skating to he's filming to music in his head that he's already picked out for video parts. You know what I mean? Like he's so
Did he have
hyper focused on it.
Did
right?
he have spots like he's like, yo, I got this trick for you at this spot. I think you can do it.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated it.
But did you pretty much do what he did?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We're talking
Because now I'm like, well, I might be able to get my foot in the game.
well, yeah, which you
You know?
did. I mean, you got in the Toy Machine heavy metal, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was all filmed by Jamie.
Yeah, like that, like Balboa Park right there, like is one of my least favorite places to skate at. You're by yourself, and that little kid was rad though. You seen how he was like pretending like he was skating?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this stuff I like. All the Frisco stuff I really liked. Yeah,
You seem to really like city skateboarding.
that's all I liked.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This I remember. This I hated it.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Because the spot's just boring.
Oh, okay.
There
There you
spot's
go.
awesome.
EMB.
Yeah. Look at that, and all the history that's behind that spot is like, yeah,
You can feel
like
it.
look at how boring this spot is.
You
It's like
kickflipped
that's
over
a PB for sure.
You kickflipped over
Yeah.
a gas.
Wait, so on this, while you're doing it, while you're filming for this, is this your first time going to San Francisco?
Yeah, which was very intimidating, but also like the most raddest, uncomfortable feeling that I've ever had in my up until that point in my life for sure.
Was it just why were you uncomfortable just going to a place like that and having to skate in front
Well,
of people?
EMB
or-
is still EMB at this point in time.
Uh,
like it's
kind
still
of,
like
kind of.
this is like 94, 95, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But yeah, so when I went to San Francisco with Jamie, it was like, it's kind of hard to explain because by this time I had the feeling that EMB was like a pretty tough crowd and tough spot. And I also knew that like just going there and being an out of towner trying to put it down is like not the way to do it.
Right.
You don't want to step into somebody's house and try to take over or
Right.
pretend like you're iller or like
They'll
they're
let you know.
automatically going to accept you or something because like I grew up with all the rough shit. I know what it's like to I kind of was on the other side of it for a little while.
Right.
So my game plan was go to EMB, don't even skate, just show respect, and if somebody like fucks with me, I'm fighting to the death.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's your, yeah.
Not like literally.
No,
death,
I know, but it's
yeah, but yeah,
it's like jail mentality.
dude, I saw the videos of like some of the dudes that were like, you know, squabbing. I know the James Kelch stories. Like I heard like you know, like Carroll might tell somebody like, "What you sitting down for? This ain't a demo." You know, like you hear all that shit. Somehow, like we would like hear these rumors.
Yeah.
I loved that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I also knew that like I wasn't gonna go in there and be like, "What up, fucking," you know.
Right.
Did you know anybody besides Stevie in that inner circle?
Nah, Stevie wasn't even out there yet.
Okay. So
This
this is before that. Okay.
So you went
Stevie-
there knowing no one.
Yeah, Stevie was still back in Philly.
Yeah.
Because he was still barely still little. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you must have went there with Jamie for the first time.
Yeah. That was
Like,
that's what I was
but
saying, yeah.
even didn't he have a tough time there at first?
Well, he had already lived there. He was living. He was stealing pizza from pigeons out there.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know Jamie's.
That's what he was doing.
I don't know Jamie's
Yeah.
story.
He was.
Jamie, I definitely heard
He slept there
that many a time.
He told a story right there in that chair that a pigeon was trying to take his pizza and he got it back from it.
Well, when we got there,
He must have known some people. That's what I'm saying. He must have known what's going on.
I'll tell you when we got there, and I sat down. He might have went and said what up to people. I don't remember all that, but all I remember is my side of the story, which was I sat down on the top of the three stair, like just a regular three stair, and I was just kind of soaking it in. And this kid came up to me. His name was Jocko. You remember Jocko? And he's like, "Yo, where you from?" "I'm from Dallas." Or Michigan or Philly or New York. I claimed Dallas real hard, yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "I'm from Dallas." And he's like, "Yo, that's a dope board. Can I ride it?" "Yep, go ahead." And then I don't know if this was the right thing to say or not, but I was like, "Make sure you bring it back or I'm going to fuck you up." And Jocko, I don't know who Jocko was, but I seen he had some big ass hands. And I just told him, and knowing that I was gonna get my ass beat for sure. But remember, I told you I was like gonna try to fight to death because to me it was like some earned respect somehow.
Yeah.
And he jumped on my board, and he skated all the way over to like the end of the Gons Gap where there's like two stairs where you can like skirt out and get onto whatever that road is, Embarcadero.
Okay.
Embarcadero Road or something. And he turned around and he like looked at me and picked my board up, and I just stood up on top of the three stair. And then he skated on back and he gave me a board. He's like, "Yo, this board's dope. What is it?" Da da da. I was like, "It's a toy machine." And that like broke the ice for me.
Okay.
You know? And then I slowly, I don't remember really, but I think I slowly like started skating around, and I didn't want to impose. But that turned into Jamie and I filming some stuff at night. I don't think we filmed anything there during the day because it was like fucking impossible to skate that place with the cops and shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yo, I'm moving here at some point for sure." Yeah.
Were you seeing all the EMB dudes there, or no? Not really.
Nah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Because it literally was like the latter days of the.
I'm trying to think because like Girl started in '93. Carol and then moved down from SF to LA.
They moved.
But
I
was
think
that
Carroll
later,
moved
though?
later.
He
though.
was that like 90?
Yeah.
He moved later. I'd say he was back 95, 96.
95, 96. Okay.
I tell you what, I was
Okay.
as a fan
Yeah.
of Carol and Henry and Javante and all them. I was devastated when Carol moved out.
Right. I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah, I was like, "What? No more Carol and Frisco?" As a fan,
For sure.
yeah,
100%.
I was like, "What?" It changed. You know, I had it sounds lame, but I instantly picked a new favorite skater,
Who?
Kareem.
Cream Campbell.
hmm
I mean, it's a good pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
bad.
yeah.
Carol was my favorite forever.
Yeah. But he moved out. He almost like
Done.
he was dead to you.
Done. Maybe not dead.
Okay.
Because there was some Pier 7 stuff that was cool, but
Right.
I didn't want to see Carroll in all the schoolyards all the time.
You wanted to see him.
He
in
was my
SF? Yeah,
favorite dude.
Right.
You know, I mean, I had a lot of favorites, but Carroll was like,
I mean, dude,
that 360 flip down the 7,
bro,
dude.
virtual reality, questionable. Like,
Didn't care. Well, questionable.
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 Virtual
was like-
reality, he still a lot of SF footage though.
Did he?
Yeah. Remember
I
the-
just
in the-
remember virtual reality, and all I think about is like the San Diego bus stop.
Oh,
stuff.
the bumps.
Greyhound bumps?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that shit.
too.
That shit killed it for me.
I love that you're so particular about like where somebody skates.
He's like, he's a
Dude.
city skater.
Yeah.
He needs to stay in the city.
Yeah, plaza skater.
Right.
Yeah,
Chasing that plaza.
dude, I based my whole fucking skate career off that shit
Yeah.
because I ain't even been back to Philly yet. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
But this time when I go to Philly, after my Frisco stint, and then I moved to Chicago, and I was in Chicago for quite a while, which by the way is like my favorite city to skate in. Yeah, it's Chicago.
Chicago's dope.
Chicago's super dope.
Yeah.
And yeah, my friends there are like family too. Yeah, Chicago. Yeah.
When you got on Toy Machine, you're filming for the video part with Jamie. You ended up moving to San Francisco, right? Did you go back to Michigan or Dallas and then go back to SF, or did you stay there?
No. I moved back to Dallas.
You moved back to and then back to SF.
Yeah.
Oh, got you. Who did you move in with in SF?
Drake Jones.
Drake Jones.
Yep.
Damn.
The first place I stayed in a tiny little room. I don't remember what neighborhood it was, but it was like Alyasha lived there.
Okay.
And then I had beef with Alyasha because he like called me shook ones at some point, and
You
dude,
were just naming a Mobb Deep song. That's
I
all.
know, no. It was weird, dude. It was weird. It was really weird. It was on some like Ricky type shit where it was like, why is he coming after me? You know?
I feel like that. Are people threatened back then? You
I don't know,
maybe they're
man.
threatened about certain people coming up and they're.
I think maybe.
taking something away from what they got going on a little bit. Maybe
There could be some truth behind that.
I feel
but
like
I
there
don't know.
was. I feel like there was. I feel like back then there was a little bit of. This is a small industry we're talking about too.
Yeah.
This is small. Like so. I feel like
See,
people,
to me, I never even think about industry.
right.
Never. It was always just about skating. Yeah, because I still wasn't getting paid at this time. You know, it was like,
okay.
you know how I got paid? I got paid by selling shit, selling boards and
Yeah.
shoes and to places like FTC.
Right.
You know, or
Sure. Even EMB.
just down on the
25,
street.
Yeah. 25 with grip.
yeah.
That was good chump change for us. At
It was
that
really
time,
good,
you
yeah.
know, but
I think
it
that was
it
also.
was a necessary.
And I also think it was like kind of accepted or known, like, hey, here's a couple
All
extra
day.
things.
All
You
day.
know what I mean? You sell some stuff, maybe.
Yeah, but when I moved to San Francisco, I wasn't about trying to like be friends with everybody because they all like I'm not trying to infiltrate their crews. What my goal was to show and prove. Like the only way that I thought that I could put some respect on the spots was to like do what I had to do to make that impact, but without trying to be cool with everybody, without trying to like get in Mike Carroll's car. Like I'm not trying to be friends with Mike Carroll. I'm not trying to be friends with all these dudes that like I looked at for inspiration and all that stuff. So I had my own friends, you know, well, Drake,
Yeah.
because I had met Drake in Philly way back when Jamie
Drake
came
was
through.
friends with all those guys, right?
Yeah, but those are his friends.
Okay.
Yeah, my friends were like, well, Drake, Lenny Kirk,
Okay. Lenny
you know,
Kirk.
and then some of the guys that weren't in the ultra cool kid crowd, like, and no disrespect calling the ultra cool kid crowd, but
Sure.
they were drunk. You know what I mean? Like Carol, like
Chico.
Javante, Chico.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to infiltrate that and be a part of that. But if they let me skate their shit, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna try to represent.
Was it more like respect? You wanted
100%.
respect for the, yeah.
100%.
Right.
I ain't the coolest kid. You know what I mean? They were cool to me, but I didn't want to get to know them too well because then maybe they wouldn't be cool. You know?
right.
I wanted to like stay a fan
Okay.
and still get inspiration from these dudes without like actually learning about who they are.
So interesting.
I can respect that, though. I mean, it seemed like you were just being your own individual because, again, when you come across these people and there's a moment where you can, interact with them, I understand that it would be kind of like, maybe not intimidating for you, and that maybe that's the thing. I think that you looked at this totally different. You know what I'm saying? You went in there and, you, like you said, you were just trying to show and prove. And I can respect that. But sometimes I think early on in those days, people wouldn't be able to understand that. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that's why people probably would say, or they just wouldn't have no understanding for you. You know what I mean? Because you weren't trying to, not say infiltrate, but like just befriend them and be cool with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely have a respect for that, because at the same time, like, I'm just trying to be cool with everybody. You know what I mean? And make sure that, I have the best representation to have these long-term, friendships that turned into something. You know what I mean? But you were just like, I'm gonna just skate, and I can respect that, because again, that's, people ain't doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That validation.
Whoa.
I'm learning, bro.
It's coming full circle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't even know where that came from, but like I said, I wasn't trying to like infiltrate.
Right. Do you remember how you felt that they viewed you?
I feel like and it's still kind of like this to this day, and I feel like I would hope that, you know what? Honestly, I don't think I cared, to be honest.
Okay.
With you. Yeah, because I was doing my own thing. I just hope that they would look at me as treating. Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just hope that they were looking at me as treating their spots in the city with like a dignity and respect.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's admirable.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, some people don't come in with that attitude. They come in with the attitude of destroying, or, trying to get in with people too. They want to be in that group, maybe try to get sponsored by the same sponsors, and you know what I mean? Really
But
try
I get
to.
what he was talking about, of going there for the first time and being like intimidated to the fact that I don't want to just skate just to like show my shit. Like, I want to do it in a natural way where it doesn't feel like, contrived, or I'm doing it just to shit on these dudes. Like, I just want to go in there and kill it.
Every time someone new comes in and they're there to fuck shit up, everyone that's there is usually like, who the fuck is this guy?
Totally.
Sure.
That's, dude, so many people I've seen in skateboarding, that's what's happened. You know
yeah,
what I
I've
mean?
seen it a lot too.
Yeah.
A lot of times we call them demo dogs.
Yeah,
Hometown hero.
yeah.
Yeah, demo dogs. Yeah.
So everything's going good in SF at the time, I would assume. You're living with Drake Jones.
Legend.
Yeah, but I'm on Alien by this time.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to get on Real, I thought.
Yeah.
What? I mean, that's big. You're on Toy Machine. You're going to get on Real.
Yeah, I guess
But
you're right. You're right. You're right.
The story I hear is like you ran into Deerdick at like a trade show, and that changed everything. Like, you got on Real after that. I mean, you got on Alien after that. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're right about that.
What was the deal with Real though? Were you just in with Drake, and that's why
Yeah,
you
that
were
was
going
a
to get on
Drake.
Real, and then, but then, did Deerdick just know what you were like? How did that even happen? Do you remember what happened there?
Vaguely. If I can put it together right,
Yeah.
back in the Pacific Beach days when I would hang out with the Alien guys,
Okay.
they would always joke around and be like, yo, heard you ride for Alien now, Kalis? And I'd be like, man, shut the fuck up. Because I literally thought they were making fun of me.
Okay. Okay.
One day, Deerdick was like, nah, for real. Or maybe it was Dwayne Petrie
Wow.
that said, no, it was Dwayne Petrie that would like say, heard you riding for Alien. And then it was Deerdick because I actually tried to fight him, I think I was like, stop fucking clowning me, dude. We're going to fight. Whatever it was. And I think it was Deerdick that was like, whoa. Nah, man, if you ever want to ride for Alien, just let us know.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, shit. But I still thought maybe they were bullshitting.
Seriously?
Yeah. And, and then I had moved up to San Francisco and skated with Drake a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And really was kind of outside the box for Toy Machine. Like, it just didn't fit. And Drake was like, dude, why don't you ride for Alien or for Real? Ride for Real. I'm gonna talk to Jim Thiebaud and da da da. And I was like, all right, that sounds cool. I didn't know what that meant really. and we went down to a trade show, and I was literally quitting Toy Machine, like, walking down the thing, you know. I don't know, you guys remember the trade shows?
Oh,
right?
yeah, ASR, man.
Yeah, and which I missed, by the way. There was
ASR. It brought the whole skateboarding community together.
Those were the times,
yeah. For sure.
Yeah, and I just, like, turned around the thing, and I hadn't seen Dirty in a while because I was up in San Francisco. And we just literally bumped into each other, like, face to face, and he's like, oh, what's up, Kales? Where you going? I was like, I'm actually going to quit Toy Machine, yeah. And he's like, for who? And I'm like, what you got? And he was like, dude, we'll cut you a check right now.
Wow.
And the check was like $200 or something.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I swear I like just computed it in my brain like instantly. I think I ran through like a whole series of possible events,
Scenarios,
what it looks like in the future. It was like I almost malfunctioned because I mean that's it. Alien, Real,
bravo.
But Real is connected with Spitfire and truck companies but Alien, I actually chose Alien because like I actually have some weird back history with the workshop going all the way back to Michigan.
How so?
There was a demo at a place called Kazoo Skate Zoo, which is in Kalamazoo, which is like 45 minutes away from where I live. And I'm trying to remember, like, I don't remember what year it was, but I was pretty young. It was the first year of the Alien Workshop, actually.
Okay.
So what was that, 91?
I think so.
I think maybe my dates are wrong, so don't quote me on it. But anyway, they were doing a demo there, and I went there, and I was skating in the park, and I got kicked out for skating in the park while Alien was doing their demo. So I started skating outside, and let me rewind. While I was in the park, I'd have like small conversation with Dirty and small conversation with Dwayne Petrie, and because it wasn't like the demos how you would normally know. There were like maybe there was like 50 people there or something.
Sure.
Maybe 100 people. And so I got kicked out for like skating inside. And so I started skating outside, and I think the conversation that we had in the park moved Dirty and Petrie outside, and they were skating with me outside, so the whole park moved outside.
Okay.
And I met Chris Carter and Mike Hill, and like we were just chit-chatting. There wasn't like any agenda for, like, I'm not trying to get sponsored or anything. We were just like skating.
Yeah.
And I never forgot that, And I actually got banned from Kazoo Skate Zoo. This guy I know used to steal wheels from there, and he blamed it on me. Dude, I got blamed for stealing wheels in Philly too. Like Ricky Oyola was like, "Yo, you're stealing my wheels." It wasn't me.
Jeez,
I know
man.
who was stealing them.
Oh,
though.
you did?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know who was stealing them, and it was his own boy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But when I'm jumping around now, but
I love it.
Part of the excuse for kicking me out of Philly was like, you're stealing Ricky's packages, but it was his own homie that was doing it. Yeah. But anyway,
job.
So
Inside job dubs.
I got banned from Kazoo Skate Zoo for stealing wheels too.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving forward, however many years, bumping into Dirty at the trade show, when I'm like,
did he remember you from the demo?
I don't know. I don't know if we ever talked about it.
Okay.
But I did.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah.
I remember that shit.
Right.
And so doing my calculations in my head, I was just like, damn, Alien, maybe I got some history there. There's a story. I'm all about stories, dude.
And you also know the guys because you party with them and stuff. But it's weird because like also you're living in SF, which makes complete sense for Real. You know what I mean? When you're around certain people, like at that point in time, you're not around any of the Alien guys. I would assume you're just around like SF dudes.
Yeah, but I like that though.
You did.
I always liked that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like being out of the
Yeah.
mix a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I like to be in my own mix.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like skating.
Do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
anyway,
you got $200.
I got $200. Yeah.
Right
you
then and
signed with-
there? Did he give you a check?
Right then and there,
Yes.
dude. Chris Carter wrote me a check right
Really?
then and there for $200, and I was like, wow, this is dope.
I love
Yeah.
magic happens at ASR. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something.
And then Alien hooked me the fuck up because they would send me so much shit to Frisco, I got an ill ass apartment. I made $200 a month, and I got an ill apartment on Geary and Fillmore, above the Ponderosa. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And I don't even know how it happened. I think there was I think some girl from Michigan came out, and her dad had co-signed for it or something like that. And she stayed there for a while. And dude, we had parties. I had my Chicago people come out, and we had like breakdance contest between some of the Frisco dudes and the Chicago dudes, and like LeVar McBride and Mike Carroll was at my birthday party, and like it was super fucking. It was pretty batshit crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like Lenny had moved up there. Me and Lenny Kirk were just like running through San Francisco like something nasty.
How many years do you live up there?
Which I don't.
San Francisco, just in general.
I don't know. Dude, it could
4
have
or
been.
5?
I don't even know if it was that long.
Is this during time code era?
I lived up there like 2 different times, I think.
Okay.
Time code. Oh man, you guys are getting too specific for my for my brain.
Well, because you were filming with Lenny probably a bunch during the time code zone in San Francisco,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's a great video,
This
dude.
is time code right here, Lenny Kirk.
yeah, man.
But
mid 90s.
That was my right hand man, dude. We were like 2 peas in a pod up in that. Just yeah, man, Lenny. Until that happened.
jeez,
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
when you were
that was Dallas.
you got on Alien, were you starting to film up in SF for their video? What video was that with the
Time code.
time code?
Time
Yeah,
code,
sorry.
Yeah, I think we always randomly filmed. I honestly like I know you guys are asking questions about like filming for time code or filming for photosynthesis or I honestly don't remember like the protocol for hey, we're going to film a video, get some stuff, because we were filming so much that the footage would go to so many different things.
The filmers kind of had control over what was going on. I feel like, like you're filming with this person, then they would be, oh, here I'm going to send this footage over here. I'm going to send this footage to Alien or whatever.
Some of it in 4-1 randomly too.
Yeah, see, I would never film with, I would try not to film with the staff filmer.
Okay.
Because I learned early that I didn't like not having somewhat of control of where my footage goes.
Okay.
And I think that was actually a big benefit to my career too. Because and I like staff filmers, and they definitely serve a purpose for sure.
Yeah.
But as a dude like me who's kind of floating around out there, going to all these different cities, if I waited to film with a staff filmer, and that footage is only gonna go,
Right.
because the way it works is if you film with a staff filmer, the company owns that footage.
Sure.
But if you film with like your homies or an independent filmer or whatever, like you both own that footage. And I would pay like filmers.
You'd pay them like for the footage or like a day rate, like, hey, come film, give you $100.
Yeah,
come film.
and when I say I would pay him, I would buy him fucking lunch or something. Yeah, because it's not like we had very much money,
Well, some of my favorite footage of you was randomly. It's just in 4-1s, like the tray flip down, like the street gap, and the lines at Pier 7, frontside flip nose grind and stuff.
Yeah, that stuff wasn't supposed to be in 4-1, and I was actually really pissed off about that.
Cause that was really good footage. Who filmed that then?
Like, dude, I think I barked real hard at like Ty Evans for that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he had a part of it, but I that's one thing I do remember is being at ASR in Long Beach, and a guy named John Tripp filmed those things, and I thought maybe I heard that Ty Evans worked at 4-1, and he saw those and pulled them out and put them in the thing, and those clips were supposed to go into time code. And dude, I was furious. Yeah, and I ran into Ty Evans, and he's like 6'5", and I'm like barking at him, and I'm like bringing my homie in to pretend like he's holding me back. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, this dude's about to like stomp on me. But
What did he have to say? Did he do it?
To be honest with you,
I don't think he ever worked for 4-1.
I remember him like being like super nice. Like I was being an asshole. You know what I mean? And he was being super nice. Like, nah, dude, like I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was either like I would never do that, or if it was a mistake or whatever. And I was being a dick because, dude, I was low key, man. I was a fucking asshole like back in the day. Yeah,
Hard to deal with. With sponsors too?
No, I just liked beef.
Okay.
I liked beef. I liked drama.
You like starting a little, a little some.
I liked all that, and I always looked at it like kind of like going back to first stepping foot in EMB, which was like if I get in front of it and like show my presence that I'm no punk, that you instantly will get like a certain level of respect.
Sure.
And I learned later that like nowadays that's a little different. I mean, there's different ways to do it, but back then, in the way that I grew up, that's how I thought you did it.
Right.
And so, and I've got my ass beat like plenty of times for doing that shit, you know. But yeah, I did that to Ty, and he was cool about it. Yeah, and he was cool about it. And then I was like, damn. Later in life, I learned, it's better to not be an asshole.
Well, so when you're talking about like that footage should have been in time code and you're doing time code, were you involved with the editing process or just tricks like I want this in my part?
Yeah, we would just send the tricks.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And during that time was it seemed like you had just started to rock DCs at that time. Was that when you got on the team filming for that?
Ooh, well, real quick, let me tap into the editing thing. The only thing I really cared about was the music.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because music has always been like a super huge part of my life, and probably because of being in the room for so long. That's pretty much all I had.
Mm-hmm.
And skate music specifically, like I didn't grow up on like Mary J. Blige, but this dude had Sweet Thing,
Right.
and I tell you what, dude, like that. Like Duran's part using Sweet Thing just made me like deep dive into Mary J. Blige because his skating with that. Did you even pick that?
Nah, shout out to Aaron Mazer for that. I was so psyched after the fact that I was like, dude, I would have probably not picked that, but like I'm super psyched on it.
Yeah, it was really good.
And then like Chico with Sade and Al Green.
Mm-hmm.
Just listening to that stuff, like I will literally listen to Al Green or Sade or Mary J. Blige and nod my head like it's banging hip hop. Like if I'm struggling with a trick and we got music on or something like that, like I slow it way down and put on Al Green or whatever, any soul music, anything that's like that most people would be like, how are you getting motivated on that? And somehow extract like ultra motivation from that,
I love it.
Yeah, and that's all. It's all because of the skate videos I grew up on.
100%.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude.
I mean, that's why I would find music that I wouldn't even think about
So true.
that I would listen to ever.
Yeah.
And
Just through skate videos?
Bro,
Yeah.
I used to record the song on a tape and play the tape back and have the skateboarding noises in the track.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
good.
that's the only way I could get it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
So
They
yeah,
didn't have Shazam.
No. LimeWire wasn't even around yet, even too. Just had to record off the TV.
Right.
That was the best thing, though. At the end, they started showing the credits, especially in 4 and 1. They would show the song
Yes,
name before
for
the
sure.
section. And you're like, oh, there we go.
Yes.
That was the easy way to find it, for me at least.
Yeah, man. Like music is like if I listen to music too heavy when I wake up, like if I'm like vacuuming the house or driving in a car or something, it'll kill my day because I'll use so much energy just listening to something that I gotta take a nap. I'm not even bullshitting, dude. Like if I'm going to meet like my boys down at the park or something like that, and I get a coffee or whatever, and I'm like mentally jamming out or bumping something too crazy, I get so into it, and I think about like all the skating. By the time I get to the spot, I'm like exhausted. Yeah, it's gnarly, and I it has to be because like that's what kept me alive
Sane,
when I was
yeah,
like
for sure.
grounded so long. I don't know, or maybe it's because I love like the skate culture like so much. Like there's, I don't know, man. Like the skate culture to me is just, I don't care about all this industry stuff and all that. Like I'm a skateboarder, grew up skateboarder.
So
watching everybody skate. Like it's and the music is just the soundtrack to that.
It is because
Yeah,
you
big time.
know that song comes on and you know who skated to that song.
Yeah.
You know, click for clack, what that that
And
video
it
part
gave
was like.
to me, it gave the skater in that video part personality.
100%.
Yeah,
Totally. It's
You know,
huge.
You don't really see it like that so much anymore.
No.
do you have a lot of songs picked out before you're even done with the part?
So unfortunately for me, most of the songs that I've picked for the part are kind of last minute, and it's usually based off something that's happening in my life right then and there. I'm either pissed off or I'm like feeling good about something, or it's actually directed towards an individual.
Yeah.
Or just something at the time. Not all of them. Like Photosynthesis, like the Black Rob section of it. Nah, that was just a cool song.
Yeah.
But the one before that with Bumpy Knuckles. Oh yeah. Like that's how I'm feeling right now. Like I don't like you, and I'm picking this song because like I fucking hate you, but I'll never tell you that.
Right.
Because it's just something that's in my head.
You almost hope that they pick it up.
Subliminal?
Yeah. Like, damn, is this me?
Taking shots at me?
Is that also, do you, I know this makes sense. Does that transfer into your skating like that? Where you're like, I'm going out and I'm fucking shit up type shit?
Yeah.
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 That's what I
yeah.
feel.
Like a lot of this yeah.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun time, but there was a lot of drama in those Love Park Philly days.
Well, let's get into the Love Park Philly days. Because, I mean, we're watching Photosynthesis right now. And
So fucking
you obviously went from, you said you moved out of SF back to Dallas, or you went straight back to Philly?
No, I went to Chicago.
Oh, you went to Chicago.
From San Francisco, yeah.
But then when you ended up in Philly again? Because there was a resurgence.
Philly.
This Philly. There was a resurgence of the Philly and all the kids there and stuff like that, I feel like. Wasn't there?
So I had seen Stevie quite a bit in San Francisco. We stayed pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen. I never saw Ricky out there, but I saw some of his boys like Sergey, and what was the other guy? I can't remember. The dudes that actually I had like kind of beef with from being kicked out of Philly.
Right.
And I flexed on those dudes in Frisco hard. Kicked them off the bench on Union Square. Was asking if they were bringing their beef out here. This is like not neither one of our turfs. This is a great place to like handle this because I'm hearing y'all talking shit and nothing. We never fought. They were like, nah, we're good. And I'm like, all right. And I would never see him again out in Frisco or anything. And one time on actually that Invisible tour, I stopped back in Philly and went to Love Park, and Ricky was there, and Ricky came up to me and he was like, I said, yo, you said you were going to kill me the next time I'm here. And he was like, I think you're going to be pro, and I don't want to have this shit happen all the time. Like, whatever. Like, he was just basically telling me, like, I'm not going to kill you. But he did say, I don't know what the DGK kids are going to do to you. And when I looked over, it was like Son and Stevie, and they all came and said what up, and it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so this time I'm going to Philadelphia. I'm living in Chicago. Olivia, my wife, is living in Michigan. I didn't want to live in Michigan because I was skating so much. And so we just took the Amtrak back and forth to see each other. And I was like, yo, you want to go to Philly in New York just on a trip? And she's like, yeah. So her and her friend and me hopped in my little Honda Civic that I was paying 19% interest on.
Honda Civics were big back then.
Dude, it was sick. There's actually a board graphic. You guys might not have it.
I don't know.
Of the Honda Civic. And we drove that shit to Philly. And, the last time I went to Philly, when I was walking away, this dude said, East Coast motherfucker, to me when I was walking away. And I'll never forget that shit, right? Never. But anyway, here we are. We're going to Philly. We go to Love Park. And there's like skaters there, but there's no Ricky and Serge and Matt. None of those guys are there. It's just like a bunch of young dudes skating around. So I go to the store. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I ran into Stevie, who was like not skating. He was kind of like down and out a little bit. And I was like, yo, I think he was in a bus stop maybe, and I think he knocked on the glass, if I remember right. And I was like, oh shit, because the last time I seen Stevie was somewhere in SF.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think he was riding for anybody anymore. He went through a bunch of different things. I don't remember all the companies, maybe like Fit or I don't remember. But
Profile.
Yeah, and he walked with me back to Love. And I don't even remember really what we were talking about. But when we got back to Love Park, Olivia was there, and she was saying how like these like college kids, or I don't remember what kids they were, but they were like being lame. You know, they were like fucking with Olivia and her friend. And Stevie was like, "Who, those kids?" And it was like Voltron, dude. The DGK kids united and went after those dudes and like fucked them up. You know, yeah, it was crazy. Like, dude had a knife in his bag. Like the college kid and son pulled the knife out of his bag, and he's like, "You want me to stab you with your own knife or whatever?"
Jesus.
Yeah, it was nutty. I was like, "Damn, this is the Love I remember." Yeah. And yeah, and so it was a cool visit. Then we went to New York and visited New York, and then we went back to Chicago, and I was like, "Yo, you want to move back to Philly?" And move to Philly, and I was like, maybe my mom would let us stay there for a little bit until we got a place. And my mom let us stay there for a little while until we got a place. Yeah.
Okay.
And we got a place and talked to Stevie about skating, like hardcore. I was like, yo, we can actually like, we could probably attach ourselves to Love, kind of like what they were doing with Sub-Zero and Ricky and them, and kind of what they did out there with EMB.
Right.
And like, it's our turn. And Stevie was like, I don't remember how much convincing or if he was down right away, or I don't remember. I think he thought I was like crazy.
He's explained the story.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, it definitely was an impactful moment for him at that time, because you were saying like, I'll get you boards, I'll make sure you're good, right? Yeah, because my whole dream was to like be a part of something like that, but I wasn't born into it. It wasn't around me. Like the only way I wasn't even from Philly. I'm not from Chicago. I'm not from San Francisco. I'm not from any of that shit. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Right. We tried in Grand Rapids. We had a little place called the Amphitheater. But nobody has that mentality. People like going there and skating, but they didn't have the mentality that I created in my head about like, this is where I want to live. Like, I want to live in this place, and I want my friends to live in this place, and I want like the corner store to be like my local, and I want that culture, that community. But if you're not born into it, if it's not already there, it's hard to like create, especially when there's not like-minded people that have that, you know? Because I think the majority of skateboarders just want to skate spots. They want to like skate spots and get clipped up. And
were cops going to Love at that point a lot? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's always was like that early on.
No.
Oh.
Early back in the Ricky Love days.
Oh, okay.
You could skate Love. Yeah, you would get kicked out of other spots, and they would kick you out to Love.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, but that all changed after the Sub-Zero video, actually. Ricky beating up that bum is what changed it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because the mayor at the time was Rendell, and his kid skated.
Oh, okay.
But then from the rumor I heard, actually I know for sure because I talked to Jesse Rendell, and he tells the story.
Yeah.
And Dad, check out the Philly video, like da-da-da. And at the end, like his dad's watching this dude like kicking out a bum saying, "Get out of my park." and they literally changed the fucking. The skateboarders think they own Love Park, like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and some other stuff changed too. Like then the mayor changed, and then you get the city council dude was a real dick. But anyway, here we go. Where was I?
Well, did Stevie move in with you?
Yeah, Stevie moved in with me, and I'm trying to remember like. Oh, and by this time I was on DC, so I had DC backing me.
Okay.
Yeah, I had DC backing me, and that was huge because I got on DC back in. When did I get on DC?
Were you into San Francisco?
Dude, that was some trade show shit too.
That was some trade show shit. A lot of shit. I'm telling you, magic happened at
Yeah,
ASR.
I remember.
Really
I don't even, dude. I don't
96?
even know where I was living.
DC started what 95, right?
It started around
94. It started in 94. I think I got, dude. But I did 3 years flow for DC.
Like all that time code footage, all that was all flow.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It was borderline. No. Time code was flow. Time code was flow for DC. Photosynthesis was like just getting actually on the team.
Well, you had like okay, right between then you had the part at Love Park with Stevie in Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, yeah.
That was like that had to have been maybe right then because you were skating the Deer Deck shoes and your shoe wasn't out yet.
Because that was 98.
Yeah,
Wait, when did the Lynx come out?
around that time, around the Sixth Sense video.
So
I
I actually got on DC when the Lynx came out.
So that must have been
97,
98-ish.
98, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Photosynthesis was
'Cause
2000.
you wearing it in that part, I literally went to the shop exactly right after that and bought those shoes. So that was like the first time I had ever seen those.
Did you get royalty from that?
Nah, I never got royalties from the Lynx. But it's funny though. So, dude, I remember Ken Block would pull up to Deerdick's place in Pacific Beach and like be slanging DCs out of his trunk. Yeah, like before they were in stores, he's like, "Yo, here's these." It might even been before Deerdick got on. Wow. Deerdick got on like I don't remember a year after they started because it was originally just Danny and Colin,
Right.
And then there was like Moses and Scott Johnson or whatever. But anyway, I went on tour with those guys. I got to go on their
That Super Tour.
the Super Tour.
I heard about it.
But yo, before Super Tour, they made me put in work,
Did
dude.
they?
I had to do one-man demos. Dude, they've sent me to Australia by myself.
For real?
Yeah. And I met up with like Chad Barty and his distribution. Dude, solo. I didn't even get paid by DC, but I was out repping for a month in Australia getting staph infections in my legs and shit.
Jeez.
And yeah, dude.
Damn.
I put it down for DC for almost 3 years without no pay.
Okay.
But you wearing the Lynx in this part, like, definitely put that shoe on the map. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Lynx.
I mean, you just looked good in that shoe. Like your whole kit, the shoes, everything. You know what I mean?
It was a moment.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And this is, I feel like for me, I've seen Love Park, but you got to see what Love Park was like. You're like big stairs, little stairs, like all that stuff. You get to see it.
This part of this time in Philly was like right after I first moved back, and me and Stevie were like forming our let's take not take it over, but let's take it to a level it's never been, and not let anybody like call us dirty fucking ghetto kids and try to like oppress our movement on what we're trying to bring to the table.
Right.
And we were just like, fuck this. And so that's what we did.
You
man.
had a movement, bro. You guys did, dude. It was
That's what we did. So I got on DC. I don't even remember where I was living at the time.
Did you get Stevie on DC?
Like I'll never say I got somebody on the team,
Right.
but
Influence.
I definitely was pushing for it
Right.
because to me, Josh and Stevie was like Carroll and Sanchez,
Jordan and Pippen.
and Love Park was like EMB.
You and Stevie are one of the biggest duos.
I mean,
in skateboarding, to be honest, it's like Avon Dill, Josh and Stevie. Like, there's only a couple of those.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, to me, if I were to look at it from the outside looking in, and obviously I'm a part of it, so I'm gonna have some bias here, but like DGK is the most authentic shit in the fucking world, dude. It's like the way it started. Yeah, some asshole fucking talking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thought that like calling somebody a dirty ghetto kid was gonna be like do damage or make somebody feel bad. Kicking me out of Philly because of some bullshit that didn't even happen. And yo, Stevie was like, I'm branding that shit.
He held on to it.
And then he like gets he like teams up with a dude like Troy Morgan, who's a workhorse, dude. Like, I got nothing for respect for that dude. Like, I see what he does.
Dude, he's helped out tons of people's careers, but like especially mine, dude. I owe that. Dude, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for that guy.
Tons, dude.
Yeah. But wait, so you were going back to like, so during this part, you kind of helped, you pushed Stevie to get on DC, but you're finally getting on the team around this time.
Stevie?
No, you. Was it you first and then Stevie?
Yeah, it was me first.
Because Stevie was still am at that point, obviously, and he was like not even getting boards from chocolate at that point.
Man, I don't know, you have to talk to Steve about all that. I'll tell you what, he wasn't getting boards because I was trying to get him on an Alien.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was the holdup there? I feel like that would have been like a no-brainer. You're good.
Well, to be honest, I think Stevie had a reputation of like being pretty tough.
Right.
You know, like he was fighting a lot back in the San Francisco days, and I think Alien had their hands pretty full with guys like me and Fred Gall and Conklin and even Deerdick, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And so I don't really know why, but they just wouldn't do it, you know. Like that Sixth Sense part was supposed to be just my part, and I was like, nah, like I want Stevie in it too, you know, because I was trying to make sure Stevie was going to be as solid as could be, because I looked at like the more solid Stevie is, the more solid Love is, the more solid I'm going to be, and vice versa. It was like a all connection.
I love that.
And that's all I call it the blueprint, was watching EMB.
Right.
You know, watching, Carroll and Henry and EMB.
Yeah.
And then everything else that went along with it, all the other guys, you know. It was just so important to me, and I looked at it like now is the time that we can create that, and it's authentic. It's not like, I mean, we went through it. Both Stevie and I went through it at Love.
Yeah.
I feel like you two like resurging, like, or no, for me it was just seeing Love for the first time personally, but then all these other characters or skateboarders started to evolve from that. You guys starting that. You get the Brian Wendings coming out and the Papalardos. What was that like, seeing that the city grow? Because that was like a pinnacle of skateboarding at one point.
It's tough for me to. You'd have to ask like somebody that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear people tell me how they felt about it. You know, like they were like, "Wow, there's really something going on in Philadelphia right now, and we want to go either see it or be a part of it or whatever." And we didn't have like dumbass rules like Ricky and them try to put rules on people. Like if you push Switch Mongo, you couldn't skate Love, or you know, they would like do some dumbass shit back in their days. But Stevie and I were like, nah, we're not gonna give anybody shit.
Right.
The only thing that they'll have to deal with is like, you know, the board jackers and the cops. Dude, the cops were insane. I
mean, the most iconic clip of you is in the beginning of the Trans World, where the cops come and you're laughing as you run off. Like it's iconic.
Yeah,
like I love that. I love that.
The cop shit was crazy, dude. Like I ended up finding like a cool little way to soften, you know, the whole situation with the cops. But man, they were gnarly, dude. They would pull guns on kids. Cops were like getting their legs broke from jumping off the side of the park chasing kids. Yeah. But one time at this point I was like making pretty good money and bought, I don't know, one of the BMWs. I can't remember which one it was, but when we were getting kicked out, I just went to my car.
You just went to your car. Like this is the bet. Like this shit right here.
Yeah.
just laughing. Like that's the
Run,
that
skate,
clip
chill.
right there,
Run,
bro.
skate, chill.
Well, yeah. Even though by this time I think I lived like 4 blocks away.
Okay.
But I'd still drive down there. Dude, but I would street race
You're a
on
car
weekends
guy,
and
bro.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I would skate love during the day, and then at night, if I wasn't going to New York for the weekend, I'm at the street races, bro.
So what you're telling me is you didn't get that many tickets there, like, or your board taken. Like you would just go off to your car, kick it, or whatever. Maybe go home for a minute.
Well, there's usually so many people there that we would put our boards in the tree.
Okay.
Or like put them in the garbage cans, or we learned to like not just run. Like everybody would just take off running. We would hide our boards and then just chill.
Okay.
But one time the cops came in and I was walking to my car, which was like at the time was sick, like BMW all rimmed out and shit. And the cop was like, "What?
That's like you drive this?"
He was tripping, dude.
I love that.
Yeah, he was tripping, and he wanted to know more about it. So I was explaining him some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I don't remember how many days after that, I was sitting out on South Street, out in front of the skate shop, and that cop was driving by in a patrol car, him and his boy, they were the love cops. And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Yo," I said, "What size shoe you wear?" And they were like, "What?" And they told me their shoe size. I ran in and gave them each a pair of the Kalis ones with love on the cover. And dude, their minds were blown, dude. And yeah, they pulled over and they came out and started talking. And I'm like, "This is something that y'all ain't gonna stop." You know, I said, "You could arrest us," and they would arrest, dude. Yeah, man, the cop shit was bad.
Right.
Not as bad as Chicago, but it was bad. But anyway, so these cops told me, they were like, "Look, dude, okay, now we know about you and Stevie. Y'all are good because they were undercovers."
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And they had a whole skateboarding task force.
Dude,
Dude,
that's so
how much
nuts.
taxpayers' money went into just
undercovers?
yeah,
dude.
it's psycho.
And they basically told me, they were like, "Look, if you guys are filming, this isn't right after I gave them the shoes. This is, I don't know how much time had passed, but they basically said, look, if you or Stevie are filming and you see us across the street getting ready to come in and do a raid, just like put your finger up and tell us to wait."
Okay. No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They said that.
Yeah. It was like,
But
all
you,
right.
you
And so
could
we would
tell
see 'em.
you could tell when they were coming in.
You could see them. You could spot them a mile away. And then they start coming in wearing my shoe. Yeah.
But undercover,
Yeah. Yeah.
trying to fit in, dude.
Yeah.
You
So,
basically gave him a
That's how you
uniform.
do it.
You gave him a skateboarder's uniform.
Yeah.
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 That's
But
pretty
I mean, fuck it, dude. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'll pay off the cops to skate. Done it at Jaquan.
All day.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Done it all over the country. It's like,
oh my God. That's
yeah. So now
incredible,
this is
bro.
where we live, and this is where we're trying to like actually put it down.
Yeah.
And so yeah, here's some shoes. I kept them laced up with shoes for a few years, and yeah, they would come in. Dude, there was a time that the cops came in so hard, and it wasn't my guys. It was like these other guys, and I ran down those 10 stairs in the back and turned the corner and like face to face with the cop, and he's like, "ID." Give my ID, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Mr. Kalis?" He's like, "Go on."
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I'm like, boom. Meanwhile, that cop later was chasing Tony Montgomery and broke his ankle.
Oh,
Chasing
dude.
Tony Montgomery, yeah.
I think I heard about that.
The cop broke his ankle.
Going down some stairs or something? He was running down some stairs or
Tony
some
jumped
shit?
off. Tony jumped off the side on the sidewalk, and the cop thought he could make the jump too, and just snap.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah.
So they knew. So there was an internal conversations with the cops of you and Stevie, and they all knew who you were.
Yeah, but then at some point they changed the precincts,
Okay.
and then it just really got shitty. Yeah.
New guys coming in.
Wow.
how long do you think? Was there a certain like? I remember Pulaski when I used to go there back in the day. Was like there'll be like months where it was like totally fine, and then it would just get really bad all of a sudden. Was it consistently just bad the entire time, like every day?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes they would have a ranger there, so you couldn't even skate. Yeah, all that shit, all that Philly stuff from 99, 98 to
Early 2000s.
Yeah, that was all like
Well,
under
just-
heavy police presence.
what I thought was funny too was like they had X Games there.
Yeah, that sucked.
They had X Games there, and then they opened it up and then shut it back down.
Well, they had
Well, Costin no slid that rail
yeah, they had X Games across the street.
across the street, but still,
Yeah.
it's almost like a slap in the face, right?
Yeah, because then they completely like renovated Love right after that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
When you would get, when you would skate Love Park and get kicked out, the cops come, well, you just, because you have the City Hall right across the street, would you just go skate there?
Sometimes, but City Hall was a bus too.
So would you just go from spot to spot pretty much? Or? Yeah.
Or we would do what Stevie said.
Run, skate, chill.
Run, skate, chill.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a similar, like the Westlake Courthouse was kind of like that. I always say that was our Love Park because we would have this, cops would surround the place and we'd have to go to the New Art Theater where our buddy worked and have some popcorn and chill and come back in 15 minutes and get tickets. And like I had worn out because of the tickets wasn't in the system. Like it was just like a shit show for like a period of maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything close to Love because it wasn't that type of, but it was our plaza and it was our run, skate, chill.
Yeah, that's dope.
It was cool, man.
Yeah. You know, it makes the footage a little more special because not only having to work for the trick, but you have to like keep your eye out. Dude, I got PTSD from this shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. Chicago? Chicago was the worst in the whole country.
How so?
The Chicago cops they were insane, like ridiculous. There was one guy, his nickname was the Terminator. And
Wasn't it an SF? They had a Terminator in
dude,
SF, too,
SF
I
cops
think.
were fucked up. I got
they're
punched
bad
in the
too.
face by a cop in
Okay.
SF.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
Chicago was so gnarly, dude. Like one time we were skating the Art Institute and there was quite a lot of us. There was probably like 30 skaters and somebody's like, yo, the cops are coming. But it was like 100 cops. Yeah. And there was only like 2 ways out of the Art Institute spot. And some people went that way and some people took this way down the sidewalk. And when you got to the sidewalk, all the Art Institute security guards were locked arm in arm across the whole thing because the cops were trying to push us this way. And bang, skater hit the security guards, broke his wrist.
Wow.
Cops were everywhere, dude. And sometimes they would put you in the paddy wagon and drop you off at the south side, right in the projects, the Robert Taylor home.
Seriously?
Yep. Sometimes they just smack you up a little bit in the back of the paddy wagon. Chicago was pretty nutty.
Wow.
But Frisco was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got locked up with a bunch of pros.
Seriously,
Yeah.
in SF.
Yeah, we were skating EMB, and there was a cop car sitting there, but there was no cop. So I remember Carl Watson and Jeremy Ray. Man, I can't remember everybody that was there. But anyway, we were skating, we were having a good time, and then like it seemed like 100 cops came in. I don't know how many it was, but they were everywhere, scattered. We were running down one ways, and the cop would do J turns with the lights on and chasing everybody. And so I said, fuck it, I'm just hiding. So I hid behind this thing on Market Street, and this cop just like poked his head around. He's like, gonna run? I was like, fuck, all right, you got me. He puts me in the cop car, and then we're driving around, and then like Jeremy Ray is walking down the street with no board, and cop just pulls up on the sidewalk, get in the car, puts Jeremy Ray in. Dude, we went to jail. I think it was like Carl, maybe LeVar, me, Jeremy Ray. I can't remember. Everyone was in the. Everyone was locked up in the tank. Yeah, this shit was. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so crazy, man. It's almost like I felt in West LA. I felt it was more of like a game to the cops and just stupid. It was like funny shit to them.
It could have been, dude. I had an interaction with a cop in SF one time. Do you remember the Russian twins?
Mm-hmm.
It was me and the Russian twins, and it started raining, and we were walking through Embarcadero, and there was a little dry spot, and so one of the twins like put his board down, did a kickflip or something, and this cop just came out, and we didn't run because like we weren't really doing shit, and man, he arrested one of the twins, and took him to the Chinatown police station. So me and his brother went up there to get him out. And when I got into the police station, the cop was like, use the payphone across the street to call his mom. I was like, all right. So we go over there. And the brother is calling his mom. And while he's on the phone with his mom, the cop is letting go the other brother out of the station and tells us to wait there. So he comes over. And he looks me right in the face and he goes, I decided to let him go because I want you. You got your hat on crooked. You look like a punk. And I was like, what? For what? And he said, jaywalking from the police station to the thing. Dude, I just turned around and started running. And I was wearing Sal Barbier's with the extra puffies. And my shoe came off. Oh, shit. And I heard all his shit falling off of his waist. And I was running down the hill. You ever been in that police station? It's like on the hill, in the middle of the hill. And I got to the bottom and there was like, just called a Walgreens or a CVS or something. And there was cop cars with their sirens on. And I didn't know if they were like part of this or if, I didn't know. I just ran into the Walgreens thinking that there was a back door or something. Uh-huh. I ran into the Walgreens, dude. There was no back door. It was just a pharmacy. And so I started like casually walking back up to the front and I see the cops run down the next aisle. And I was like, all right, I'm fucking making this shit. And I seen the front door and I go to walk out and this like hero dude just fucking tackles me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And the cop, they end up grabbing me and he like walks me back to the police station, pressing my finger like it was gonna break. He had me screaming. I was like, yo, let me get my shoe. Get my shoe right there. And he was like, what shoe? And he brings me into the station, handcuffed me to the bench and punched the shit out of me, dude.
Wow.
Just bam, hit me. And I was like, he's like, you got something to say? And I'm like, man, you ain't got no heart. And next thing you know, the paddy wagon comes. They transfer me over to whatever the SF jail is. I'm in the holding tank. And I was living with Drake at the time. And this dude was on the phone, the payphone, just staring at me. And I'm like, fuck. Because I want to call Drake. And he's like, they got you, huh? And I was like, yeah, because he's looking at my feet with just one shoe on. He's like, you need to use the phone? Whenever it's free, bro. And he was like, baby, I'm going to call you back. Hangs up, lets me use the phone. Yeah, called Drake. I ended up getting out at 6 a.m. with a 9 a.m. court date same day.
Oh, same day?
Yep. Went to court, and they dismissed it immediately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That's another one of those, like, me going to jail stories for fucking nothing.
For
again.
nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, there's just a fact. I mean,
hey, it's crazy. Skateboarders don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. It looks like, you know what I mean? Or if I never had to experience that,
dude. I learned that
Yeah.
with you know who taught me this is Shanahan.
Oh yeah,
dude. I went to New York a few years ago, and like New York, just like Philly and Chicago and SF was the same. It was like you got to be careful with cops and stuff. A little more lenient, but. Anyway, Shanahan was skating some building in Midtown, and the security guard comes out. Me and Shanahan were skating. And security guard comes out, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. And Shanahan's like, nah, I'm still skating, and kept skating. And I'm like, yo, they're going to call the cops, bro. And he was like, don't matter. They won't come. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, because every time the cops come to kick out a skater at one of the buildings, the city charges the building like $2,000.
oh, wow.
Oh, what?
Yeah. And I'm like, what? I never heard of that shit before.
That's crazy.
So that's what they do now in all the cities. I think that's probably why like cops don't be coming and busting skaters like that anymore.
I'd never. That's nuts.
Yeah, these new kids got a new game, dude.
Yeah. Damn.
Because all these OG spots are like resurrected again, and no, except for obviously Love Park's gone, but like all the old school spots I saw back in the day are skatable.
Yeah, but Love ain't gone.
Oh, we got Muni across the street.
You got Muni. You got the pit. They're in the pit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Muni's getting rebuilt.
Right.
And they're actually incorporating Love ledges.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Wait. So, but are they making them? Is the place going to be skatable, or is it going to be fucking nuts again?
Legally skatable.
Wow. Seriously.
Like, bro, let me tell you. You remember the domino on Muni? The metal domino?
Yeah.
They have a granite domino.
Oh wow.
So
And
it's gonna.
What?
So they're redoing this whole thing with skaters in mind.
Yeah.
That's
section of it.
Oh, a
super
section
dope.
of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's dope. They're already built. It's already like in the works.
Damn.
Yeah. Granite
I love
ground, granite ledges, granite domino. Yeah. Those guys are the illest dudes, man. Them Philly kids, man. You want to have the best time of your life ever? Go to Muni or go to the pit. Dude,
Right.
they're in the pit.
Yeah.
Go to the pit on a Friday, Saturday night, and like you really want to see what like skate culture is, like real plaza skate culture. You go hang out with the Philly guys down in the Muni area, and it's just like man, I don't even know how to explain it, dude.
Well, they kept it,
Man, I love
dude.
it. They kept it alive.
They kept it alive, and how did that feel? Like for these kids, yeah, you're out of the mix. Of that you're not like you're out in California, but you see these kids starting to like buy your old shoes and skating them. Like, what was your thoughts on that?
Bro, they gave me like a whole new life, right? And I didn't know how to like. I saw what was going on. I had been invited to, participate in some of the stuff that like Sabotage was doing and the new Love guys, like they invited me for the final days at Love, which I didn't go to because it was like February and it was like 8 degrees out. And plus like that was their Love Park. Like I had my Love Park is how I looked at it.
Okay.
And it took me a while to like really recognize what they were doing and what they were creating, and also it took me a while to actually believe that they wanted me to be a part of what they were doing.
Seriously?
Excuse me. Yeah, because I don't know, it's very like, what's the word, like humbling to like I don't know how to explain it. It's like some people were like clowning these dudes for like cosplaying, like, oh, y'all are trying to be like Kalis and Love Days or whatever.
Right.
And like I wasn't really knowing how to feel about that at first. But then I was like, yo, nah. You know what I mean? They're just continuing.
Right.
They're literally continuing like what me and Stevie were doing. I am 1,000% gonna back these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the major reasons why I moved back to Michigan. I just was like, let me move back to Michigan and be close to Philly and really support these dudes, because why would I not?
Right.
These guys are buying old Kayla stuff and like skating it in video
it's
parts, and like their
crazy, yeah.
shoes are falling apart because they're so old, and like some of the graphics that they're skating are like hand painted to match the ones we did. And seeing Jameer and Bilyu like shooting photos under the love sign, it was just like, wow, this actually like touching.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. So I started going back to Philly, and I'm like, yo, whatever y'all need, I'm here if I can help you. And it ended up being like a super mutual, beneficial relationship.
Right.
Like, okay, here's DC, here's DGK, here's whatever I can do to open doors for y'all. Now I can open the door, but it's literally up to y'all to like do it. I mean, that's how the game is.
Yeah. For sure.
The game is like, yeah, you can get the door open, but if you don't have the whatever it is, and at whatever level it is, to find your place
For sure.
and make your mark, it, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, you guys are promoting me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they brought your shoe back because all that, dude.
They brought the Lynx back, bro.
Right.
Mm.
And then a guy like Penny, who worked with like the DC designers, and Penny is such a purist with that stuff. Like Penny is the one checking the measurements of the samples. Penny is the one like working with the guys like redesigning all the original stuff. And dude, it brought back, yeah.
It's crazy. It's so sick, dude. It was, from watching it from the side, it was one of the best things I've seen in skateboarding for a long time.
Yeah.
It was just, for me and for those, especially Penny and those kids, it's the golden years for us. Like growing up watching you, so to actually be able to bring that feeling back was really cool to watch.
Well, they are literally skate rats. Like there ain't no trying to be cool with those dudes. They're just like cool ass Philly, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they'll be there at 2 a.m. skating and drinking. They do premieres in the pit. Like, dude, my boy, Wavy. Philly, he owns Humidity.
Oh yeah.
Philly.
So he had never been out there.
Yeah.
And we did what did we do? A Butter Goods collab with DC or something. And we brought we brought Philly along out there. And so Philly came out to Muni. This was a few years ago. And it's funny because I was just talking to him the other day, and he was like, yo, let me tell you something, dude. The best time I ever had in my entire life skateboarding is when we were in Philly. And he's like, the night where the can was up and there was a line of skaters and like dudes were like betting money on tricks and da-da-da. And then the one dude made his first kickflip over the can and everyone chased him to the 10 stair and he ollied the 10 stair and he's like, it was just, the culture is so real there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And nobody's filming it. I got some of the footage on my iPhone, but you know, to hear somebody like Wavy, who's like been a part of skateboarding for so long, to say that night in Muni, which was just a normal,
It's just normal
night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was the best night he ever had skating. Is like, I don't know. That tells you something.
But was that kind of like back in the day though? Like, you know, you like the propping up the thing and doing the tray flip over the bed. Like, was that?
No.
What do you mean? Like,
It's totally different. Because when we skated Love, it was like hella illegal, and we had to deal with like crews. Like, dude, you didn't skate Love at night.
well, what I was saying was like more of like spontaneous skateboarding, right? Like doing the tray flip over the like with playback, shooting that thing, right? Was that spontaneous
No.
or was that planned out? I'm gonna do this trick.
Nah, that was well, I had already did it.
Yeah.
Before that would have
wanted to
been
get a photo.
That was planned out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Even when I did it, it was planned out. I mean,
Okay.
because by that time now we're kind of like
You have to plan stuff out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe because of the
a little bit.
the timing of
Yeah.
the cops and everything.
Yeah, it would get to like, yeah. Sometimes it would take days because like you'd prop the tile up and then there's like 8 guys that want to skate it, and then but the cops are coming. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, the guys in Philly now,
Yeah.
they are way more like connected and together. There ain't no separate crews like there was. I mean, because even in my days, the Josh and Stevie days at Love, there was like different crews. You know,
Right.
there was like Plahowski, and you know, we were a little bit more together than it was in the Sub-Zero days. But man, these guys out there right now, like they are
Like a
fun group
family.
of guys, dude. Yeah,
I love that, bro.
So sick.
That's sick.
yeah.
I always tripped when I went to Love and I saw we propped up a tile just to see what it was like, and that shit was fucked up. That was one of the weirdest bumps. It looks great on footage. It looks great when you skate it, but when you actually skate it, it was really hard. I don't know how you did that stuff on it, man. What was the hardest one you think that you did? The hardest trick.
Was it a quick bump? Is that why?
It was just kind of like, it was just so
I've never-
sudden. You know what I mean? Like
It's abrupt.
It was just like,
It's the tile's 4 foot long. Yeah.
Okay.
So and then you gotta. Well, back then, like I would have to use speed to get over it. You know, kind of faster you go, the more height you could get.
Gotcha.
Some kids nowadays got that shit figured out though. Yeah. they don't have to go as fast. I mean, it's been like nollie trade,
That's
dude.
Shanahan
Crazy,
nollie, and
bro.
anything nollie over that
Yeah.
thing is ridiculous.
Didn't Kevin switch tray it?
Yeah, Billy, you switched trade.
How did you feel after? I saw seeing the footage of you almost doing it.
Yeah, I was hyped for him.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did it because that shit was hard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Was there any other tricks you almost came close to?
Yeah, I almost switched backside flipped it.
Damn.
Yeah. I think that might have been just the one that got away.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
Switch backside.
iconic photo or the
Dude,
whole.
the tray flip, man.
Yeah.
It's like I think Blayback told the story. He took the photo, ran over to Walgreens and got it developed or something like that, like that day.
Yeah, I don't remember all that.
Yeah.
I just remember I think I was pissed off about having to do it again.
Wait, why?
I
Just
love
because you
that.
wanted to get the photo, just for the photo?
DC wanted the photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Well,
did
was
it again.
because you filmed it, right? And then what was the story behind that? You filmed it, but then he couldn't get the photo because of the filmer was in the way or something like that? Or was it just, or was he not even there?
To be honest, at the time, that was probably above my pay grade.
Okay.
Well, I was always tripped out because it's one of the only tray flips you'll see, the better ones done out there, that was filmed ass shot. Did you trip out on that Bill was filming it from that side?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never even thought about that shit. Like, I never thought about ass shot or forward, it being in front of you. I never thought about enders.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because some of my favorite video parts didn't have like enders, like one of them had Gino fakie flipping off a curb, or was it that like?
No, I think I know what you're at Robinson's May. No, was it at Robinson's May?
Right. Yes. The one that's
the one down here on Wilshire.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
maybe
know.
I don't remember.
But so you just didn't have enders like at that point.
Nah,
like,
none of that shit made. Last part, first part, none of that made sense to me. To me, it was like, if you're in the video, it's dope. Later, I was like, I think it was actually photosynthesis. There was some people talking about last part and first part and stuff like that.
Dude, you have. It's so funny to me because to me you have the most iconic tray flip, right? You have the most iconic kick flip. Remember over the thing?
Oh, the one in the old fucking.
Yeah.
Was it Peep This? Is that what was in?
Peep, bro.
Yeah.
That kick flip. And my favorite, the fakie flip at the Seaport Ladies on flat, bro.
Chris, we do talk about that on the show a lot,
Dude.
It's
Like,
a good one
for a flat ground trick, like in the middle of a line.
That shit was pimped out.
That thing. How did that feel, bro? Do you even remember that fakie flip? Like, if we could pull that fakie flip, it's insane how good that fakie flip is.
Well, thank you for that, man.
Bro.
Is that something like probably back then you probably didn't even think anything about it, huh?
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, you could probably ask RB. I think RB definitely
Where is
filmed it.
it?
You could say, hey, go get the tape and look at all the other attempts and see if I got lucky on that one or something.
Where is it? Is it here?
I thought you
This
had
is
it on
the
earlier.
kick
No,
flip.
no, no.
This is the
That's
kick
the
flip. This is
kickflip,
the kick
Yeah,
flip.
that's the kickflip.
Hold on, it's coming up. No, Raj, let it play. Let it play. The kick flip's coming up.
Dude, that thing always looks super hard to skate too.
Bro, this
That shit
kick,
was so fun.
bro. Are you kidding me? How did that feel? Like, do you even know how good that was when you did it? Did you even know how tweaked and like?
We just looked at this recently too.
Dude, I look at it every night before I go to bed. Look at that! Come on, it's kind of bro.
That is Josh. That's actually ridiculous.
That is
Like-
psycho.
I was young.
That thing.
But I love that though. It's probably what you just did a kickflip at that point. You're
You
like,
know what?
really?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Come on, that's
pretty
more. That
fucking
is
nuts.
psycho.
See, I'm more hyped on that. I have
okay,
Actually, I was trying to half cab kick flip it and I couldn't do it. So,
but
the
dude,
half
look
cab,
at
yeah.
this. Look at this.
I
Watch
know,
this.
the kick flip.
Watch this. Boom! Bam! Are you watching footage back and be like, dude, that was good kick? Like, wow, I impressed
I mean, to
myself.
some degree, I feel like we all do it. You know.
Yeah, that's
sure.
true.
What about the Brooklyn Banks? Because you did a lot, like switch backslide flip over that, switch back heel. How was that thing to skate? Because it looked like you're just oncoming traffic. What was the situation of skating that?
Fakie flip.
Oh yeah, and the
Sorry,
fakie flip too.
I
yeah.
got to find the fakie flip.
Oh, yeah,
was that in
yeah.
Peep This as well? What was?
No, it was in
that was
photo. It was in photo.
Photo,
Yeah,
photosynthesis?
we just had it on.
Well, technically, I think it got double dipped, but it was well worth it.
What do you mean?
That line, I think, was in another video too.
Perfect.
I swear it was in one. It was in like an EST or
Oh,
something.
this is it right here.
This one?
Yeah.
Nah. I don't.
Yeah,
Bro.
half cat nose grind.
Josh,
Yep.
that fakie flip was insane.
You want? Let me
Look how
tell you
good
what.
that
You want
was.
to tell me that? Or you want me to tell you what pisses me off about that line?
Go ahead.
I didn't make the nollie flip after the half cab nose grind.
So you tried a nollie flip.
100% I did.
Push. Half cab nose grind.
And right there, you see
Nollie
how
flip.
just getting set up for
Oh,
nollie
so-
How many you try to go back and you try to do the line again?
I
and
did it.
again?
I did it in Frisco. See, dude, my shit is way more like I'll be plotting, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go back to the Bay Blocks line with the one that was in 4-1 that wasn't supposed to be the frontside flip nose
And
grind,
the half cab nose grind,
half
nollie
cab
flip.
nose grind, then nollie flip. I was trying to like,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, do the same too.
But this
Yeah.
fakie flip was. It's probably the fate. I don't. In my opinion, it's the best fakie flip on flat ground. Look how good it is, man.
Were you fan of the Were you fan of the dip boards back then?
I don't think I cared.
Yeah.
I hate those dead boards.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like dip boards anymore.
Yeah. What were you asking though, Kelly? What was your favorite propped up ledge thing or something? What was it?
No, skating the Brooklyn Banks over the thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like skating in the oncoming traffic. Like, how was dealing with that?
So that's an off ramp.
It's an off ramp.
Yeah, that's an off ramp coming off the bridge, and as long as you had like, I don't even think you really needed a lookout because from where you start, you can see.
Oh, okay.
I think if I remember right, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be annoying, but it's not like they're coming off going 100 mile an hour. Yeah.
Was it like it's a weird like roundish bump though, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's like a mini Bezos bump.
Yeah, I could kind of see
Yeah.
that bump. That's the worst bump ever.
No, but
I flipped it.
He did hella shit on that.
I know. But he loved. I mean, obviously it works for him.
I think it's scary, dude.
Switch backside flip over that thing is psycho, bro.
Dude, it took
That
a
was
long
nuts.
time, dude. The switch backside flip was like over the course of 2 years and like 6 trips to the spot.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like 2 trips to Spain. Not specifically for that trick, but I probably went to that spot like 6 times over 2 years trying that.
It's not a fun spot.
No,
It's hard to skate.
When you get
It is.
when you get the clip though, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that was filming for Minefield, right? Switchback slip on that. It's one of
Yeah.
your last tricks. It was that like seemed like also going in a timeline like one of the first video parts that was like on its own. I feel like was the mono, the Kalis in mono. That was one of the first single parts I've ever seen come out.
yeah, that was actually like I wasn't stoked on that
Really?
at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time. There's a lot of stuff I was not stoked on at the time that ended up being like cool. But Kalis and Mono was definitely one of them that that was all supposed to be like for Minefield before it was called Minefield. And it goes back to the EMB stuff, like when Mike Carroll had his questionable part with 2 or 3 songs in it.
Yeah.
And I always dreamt about having a video part like that. And so Kalis and Mono, I wanted all that footage. Wait, how did it, maybe I got it backwards. I can't remember. Anyway, how did it go? No, that was the DC video that I'm tripping on.
The GC.
Kalis and Mono was actually supposed to be like Minefield, but Minefield got pushed. And I didn't want to sit on my footage. I'm a non-footage sitter on her.
You want that to come. You want it to come out as soon as you're done.
I want all my video parts to look like how I skate right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
4
not
years from now.
I'm not a stack footage for years type of guy because as much as I enjoy watching those type of video parts, it's unrelatable to me.
I get you. So you more in the moment in the.
Yeah,
Because this was one of the first. It came in a DVD, like a little thing with like in a magazine maybe or something. It was just like given out for free, but YouTube wasn't really a thing back then, so you just like had to track down this DVD.
yeah. Well, I think they pushed Minefield like another year or something like that, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not sitting on my footage, so it's up for grabs. And it was going to be Transworld part. It was going to be a 411 part with a box cover. It was going to be all these things, but the keeper of the footage said no. And because I filmed a lot of it with a staff filmer.
So they're like, nope, we're putting this out.
Yeah. And I was probably saying like, yo, half the footage is with my homie. Winkle, my boy.
Oh yeah.
Love
Shout out
Winkle.
Winkle. Yeah.
I could tell he filmed this one right here, huh?
He filmed everything in Barcelona. Yeah. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to take my footage with Winkle. I'm just going to do the 4-in-1 thing or do the Transworld thing or something because I'm not sitting on it.
Right.
And that's when they came up with this idea. And
Okay.
I think it was Greg Hunt that put it together.
I
Yep.
mean,
And-
not a bad person to put it together.
Yeah, and it ended up being cool. Like in the long run, but I was a little pretty butthurt that they attached Habitat to it. There was like a Habitat side or a Habitat section in the DVD, and there was a Habitat section on this, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? A Habitat tour thing, and like I was kind of pissed off about it.
Really?
Yeah,
You wanted your own thing.
I didn't even want my own thing. I wanted my thing to be a part of something else.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And they really wanted me to sit on the footage.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't sit on it.
Damn.
I saved a few things, like from the in mono time frame, like that was the switchbacks that flip over Bezos.
Oh, you
Okay.
saved it then.
Yeah, I'd saved a few things.
Hmm.
I always tripped on that one clip where you did a 270 nose blunt and there's like a piece of plastic
I know.
wrapped around your wheel. I was like,
He's like, fuck it. He's going to go for it.
I don't even think I
ran
knew.
that shit over. I'm going to
it
go
worked.
for it.
And it worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the minefield part, I don't remember. Dude, I don't remember.
you have so many. Now looking back at it, you have so many damn parts. Yeah, you mentioned DC part for a
Yep,
minute,
yep.
and then you had minefield after that. It's like there's a lot of parts, dude.
Quite a bit.
When you, like, because you were with Alien for a long time.
Yeah.
When you left for DGK, what was happening there? Like, what did you just feel like you needed a change of scenery, or what was it's hard to leave a company after, I mean, I don't even know how long you skated for them, but it seemed like decades, man.
I think it was
you
like
know?
12 or 13 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time. A lot of memories, a lot of video parts. Tours.
Yeah, I think I was. I just wasn't digging the. It was just kind of turning into a direction that I wasn't really feeling.
Mm.
Yeah, what Dirty say? He says I lost my voice at Alien, and that's kind of what it felt like.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I kind of saw the writing on the wall. You know, when a company changes that
Yeah.
drastically or is catering to an audience that I felt like doesn't actually buy shit.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
And so and also the big one that I almost forgot is that Alien had sold to Burton, which I don't care. Like if you ride for a company and they sell and you have a new owner, and it doesn't bother me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? What
Okay.
bothers me is when I'm like, yo, are you guys selling? And they say, no, you'd be the first to know if we did.
Oh,
And then you wake up in the morning and it's like text messages all over the place, like, what? Alien sold, like, da-da-da. And I'm like, damn, obviously I'm not the first to know.
Right.
And I don't need to be the first to know, but you don't have to lie to me,
Sure. Sure.
you know? And so that really, like, I don't know. It sucked for me
Yeah,
for whatever
I could see
reason.
that. I could
And then
see
it was
that.
after that things were changing. Like the aesthetic of it was changing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "How am I gonna do that? Like that ain't my aesthetic."
Sure.
did you realize that in the minefield part, like in the video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Your part's really good in that, but it does look separate from what else is going on in that video.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, yeah,
So you decided to bounce.
I was.
Did you have to talk to Stevie or anybody over at DGK, or did you just was going to just take a little break and get out of?
Well, I told the workshop at one point that I skate for the workshop for a check. So if you want to kick me off, kick me off. If not, I skate for you for a check.
That's what it came. That's what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it probably wasn't the coolest thing to do, but
Yeah.
that's what I said. And then I started thinking of what I would want to do. And like I don't know, I played with all kinds of different ideas and talked to Appleyard about maybe doing something.
Yeah, you guys were going to start a company.
Yeah,
that
but
would have been amazing. By the way, you
Yeah.
and Mark Appleyard. Oh yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
Appleyard is the best.
He's the
dude.
best.
I got to spend a lot of time with him in Spain.
He's the best.
Yeah. Watch Appleyard skate that Bezos bar
Bro. I was there when he
Man, that's
he broke his arm on that thing.
when he slid
Yeah,
out.
he slid out and banged it right in. I was there. I was right there.
Dude,
Sucked.
One of the switch backside flip days, attempting that, he was just like there playing around with it just to keep me company, and he's doing back threes over and over and over, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
He's gnarly.
Yeah,
He's a gnarly skateboarder. He's just like, yeah, it was
Yeah.
back three.
Wait, so you had talked to him about just starting a company? Like, you was this like thrown out there? Or did you have like a name going?
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
even that deep. It was literally like, dude, what do you think? You know, I don't even really remember because, to be honest, I do remember the phone call I had with Stevie, and I was like, all right, Stevie, I need some advice because I need to get out of this alien thing. Here's some things that I was throwing around, and he was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe that'd be cool. I don't know, whatever we were talking about, and then I was like, wait a minute, dude. Why don't I just ride for DGK? And he was like, say the word. And I was like, boom. And that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so funny how it just circled all the way back around to
Yeah.
Dirty Ghetto Kids.
Yeah.
Him starting that company, and then now you riding. It's crazy to think about that.
But now
to
we're
be.
partners.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah. Not only that, they blessed me with being a partner.
I love that,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So it's, me, Stevie, and Troy.
I love, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy.
But you-
Fucking
you're-
awesome.
Yeah, obviously you're an owner, but you seem really involved with everything in there, like putting like team members and all that stuff. That's like, it's pretty cool to see.
I'm involved to like the degree that they want me involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like going to Alien or going to EMB, you know, that type of mentality is like, DGK is not my company. DGK is Stevie and Troy's company.
Right.
And I never had intention on trying to change anything that they were doing. So if they need to lean on me for anything, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's their deal.
I love it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just, I don't know, it just works.
How long
And-
ago did they give you ownership? Was that when you were getting on?
Well, I mean, I had to put in work for that ownership.
Okay.
Which is what do they call that? I forget what they call it. It's kind of like it takes years.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a
Initiation
What-
almost.
no, you get these benchmarks.
Yeah.
Milestones. Hit some milestones.
No, it has to grow a certain amount of time, certain percentages each year.
Oh, the
and-
company itself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, until things. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 years, 6 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Yeah. I love you guys are killing it, bro.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it. And you and Stevie back together.
Yeah. Which I get to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. I get to see him, I think, on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to skate Jaquan.
Oh.
Damn.
Okay.
One Sunday.
Yeah.
Damn.
Going to church over there,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I spent so much damn time.
I always knew.
Dude, I got to see and film one of the illest things I've ever seen in my whole life, which was Kelly
Oh,
fakey tray flipping the Jaquan block.
yo, dude, I thank you, and I wouldn't have done that. And I remember sitting there with you. That was on Easter Day. That was on Easter.
No shit.
It was. I remember skating, and then you're like, "Yo, you got a fakey tray." I'm like, "I don't think I can do it, dude." You're like, "Dude, you can do it." And I started trying it, and I did it. And the fact that you filmed it and you posted me on your Instagram, that was like the hugest thing for me ever. So thank you for that, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was.
But this dude also, that switch flip Manny you got back there on that courthouse, that the fakey tray fakey Manny dude makes no sense that Kelly did. I mean, none of it makes sense because it's like as tall as this table, right?
You can
But-
skate that thing, bro.
No way, dude.
You can fakey flip up that.
My arch nemesis is Manny's.
You have a few manuals, but you don't really film those too often, huh?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Nope, they're hard, man.
You don't want to spend 8 hours trying one trick? That doesn't appeal to you?
I try. I'm 15 hours trying to try. But here's the thing: like I think the way my body is and the way like I flip the board or whatever, it's good for some stuff, like over trash cans, but it ain't good trying to get it in a Manny. I don't know how to hover over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you do tricks
Yeah.
into a manual, like I said, the fakey tray, like I had to think so much differently than I normally would do that trick on like a regular size manual pad.
Dude, it's batshit crazy. It's
It
like
really is.
I'm saying it's probably one of the like greatest skateboard tricks of all time.
Oh, dude, well, thank you.
I
dude.
think
That's-
so.
It's up there. It definitely is.
Thank you. I
can't
appreciate
deny
that.
it.
I remember when I did that, I was actually, when Tony at Thrasher posted that, I was at Jaquan skating, and getting one of the coolest things ever was getting a text from you, and then and like you and Guy Mariano texted me about it. And
No shit.
I was like, no way. It meant a lot. So thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah.
Fuck, that shit's crazy.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I switch flip Manny. That was in 2003.
I'll back the switch.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. But things are going good for you, bro. I mean, we still rocking the DCs.
Mm-hmm.
We got the DGK. I mean, the DC, we were talking about it when you walked in here. I mean, like I asked you how many shoes you've had and you couldn't even answer it. It's like 15 or something like that, different shoes with DC. I mean, it's crazy to think about.
13 to 15.
13 to
15.
something.
I don't know.
And
I don't
probably
really count.
the amount of colorways that you've had also. Like that, a lot of skaters do not accomplish that. It's crazy.
Very rare.
Yeah. You've had a good run with those guys, man.
Yeah, DC, it's doing great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Some changes have been made, and it's like, it's cruising, dude. I just got my new shoe that came out called the Ascend, and I swear to God, it's my favorite pro shoe. One of my pro shoes is my favorite one I've had.
Well, we were just talking about, like, I mean, the amount of pro shoes that you've had. 13 to 15, something like that, colorways is just, it's crazy. Would you design each and every one of them? Would you have your input in on them? Or would sometimes they would just be like, hey, here's a shoe. We think that this would be good for you.
In the earlier days, I was way more involved.
Okay.
Mainly just from an aesthetic point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And then as different designers were coming in and doing their thing, like they kind of get tasked with that. And then they'll ask a gang of questions like, hey, what do you think? What kind of materials you want to use? What do you want to look? What do you want it to look like? Da da da. And then it's kind of a back and forth type thing. But I'm not with a pen and paper anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What about when you did your Kalis 1? It has a toe cap on it. Was that just because the Lynx had the toe cap? You wanted to put that in something newer in with your name on it? What was that like?
Dude, the Kalis 1, I actually drew the Lynx with just the tiniest bit of change and was like, this is what I want my shoe. And Deirdre was like, dude, there's already a Lynx. You can't have a Lynx. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone thinks the Lynx my shoe anyway.
Right.
And so they I think if I remember right, they took the Lynx outline and then they added some of the stuff that they wanted to put into it, maybe like the air bubble or whatever it was, and they were like, fill this in. And dude, I might be talking out my ass, but if I remember right, that's what happened. Or they just gave me the Kalis 1 drawing with some colored pencils, and they were like,
With some colorful. Here, go draw. Yeah.
that's how I did colorways, dude. Was like with colored pencils.
I love it.
Yeah.
Did you stay within the lines?
Yeah. So I don't really remember. I remember being somewhat involved, especially with like, I don't know what you call that.
Panels or something?
Yeah, some of the
like
the panel markings.
Okay.
Because I wanted that shoe to be able to be color blocked, like the Lynx could be
Right.
color blocked.
Right.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite colorway that you had on that?
Oh my god, dude. Depending on what pants I'm wearing.
But I think the most iconic one was the first with the white with the like the gum.
The Michigan colors.
Is that what Michigan colors are?
Yeah, that's like the University of Michigan colors.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, blue, navy, and yellow.
Yeah, yellow,
Yeah,
white.
I don't know if that's like the inspiration behind it, but
Look at
to
this
me,
one,
it's
bro.
Michigan.
This
Yeah.
one.
That's
it
the one
came
that I
with your-
think of. That's the one I think of.
It came with your signature on the back, too. What's going on there?
Damn, that's pretty dope. That's the original one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. That shit's
I
worth-
like this one.
That shit's
dude.
worth a lot
this
of money.
One,
That's the
Let me
one
do
Kelly's
this.
talking about right there.
open image in the new window.
Who's got dead stock of these?
Oh, this is a shitty.
Except no, you.
I had
Jason,
when
can we
they
get a
reissued.
better-
I had those at my house. I think Jimmy sent me some when he was working there.
Yeah, the reissues came out really good.
Dude, they look so good.
Do you keep all your stuff?
Dude, I actually have a lot of shoes that I kept by accident. I sent a bunch of stuff to my dad. You know, going back to my relationship with my dad, which was pretty terrible in those years. When I got my first royalty check from my JK1, well, Well, I had to pay taxes. I had to learn that you have to pay taxes.
That's very important.
Very
yeah.
important.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do my taxes, and I go do my taxes, and like I didn't know about, deductions or any of that. So I had to write like, I don't even remember what it was, $90,000 check or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, and when and I was devastated.
Of course.
By the way.
Mm.
You're like, really? I gotta pay this shit? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah,
They don't
and so
teach you
I
that.
I remember I randomly sent my tax return to my dad, and I had paid more in federal taxes than he made that year.
Wow.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, we're great friends. And he loves skating. Yeah.
Skateboarding is the best.
He was like, man, and he told me, he's like, dude, I never would have thought, it's not like millions of dollars, but it's like, it's enough to gain someone who's like really conservative's attention to be like, holy shit. Like, of course, there's how long is this going to last?
Right.
And then it's like, all right, well, let's see how good of a game I can play. And I don't know. I kind of playing a game okay, I guess.
Playing
I think so.
hell of a game.
Definitely.
I don't never
you
really.
should be proud, bro.
I never really looked at it as playing a game. I looked at it like once I accepted money for skating, it changed the way I like skated for like video and stuff. And it also changed like I'll talk to homies that, aren't pro skaters or not in the industry, and I have to remember sometimes that my opinions are actually coming from like a pro skater side of things. And sometimes I forget that you got to talk to people from skateboarding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of hard to juggle. But anyway, my dad was like, yo, this is crazy. And I started like mending relationships. I bought him like a super, super clapped out 68 Mustang, because that was like his dream car that he had to get rid of in one of his, I don't know how many divorces. And so I bought him one as a project car, and he lost his shit, dude. He really lost his shit. And I could have easily just stayed away and walked away from that relationship. But for some reason, I don't know. It was like Darth Vader. I saw the good in him, So I've been working on him for a long time, and he's come a long way. But showing him that tax return, like, it just opened up his eyes to what's actually possible out there.
Sure.
And where was I going with that? Where'd that start off?
I don't know.
How much money you made?
To get back to your dad in that situation.
Well, I'm assuming your dad probably thought there was just nothing in it at the end of the day. Like, yeah, great, good skateboarding, but what is that going to do for you?
Back then, there was nobody knew anything about that.
Exactly.
As a parent, seeing a kid, like you said before, it was just like, oh, this is, the kid's it's just a troublemaker type thing, Like nowadays, there's pathways. The parents see the Olympics, they see all this stuff, they see everybody making money and doing this thing. There's a path now.
Yeah.
There wasn't a path back then.
Which, as a skateboarder, dude, I can't stand that Olympics. I can't stand Street League. I can't stand all that shit.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Well, you never a contest dude to begin with, right?
I would go to Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to Tampa Pro. That shit was hella fun,
That's
dude.
fun time, yeah.
But I went to Tampa because that was the place to be and see everybody and sneak mind erasers in the back of the bathroom, like in Ybor at night.
But also, there weren't people that were training all year round for Tampa.
Bro.
Like, that's what we have right now. We have people that are going into the training for this Olympic thing or contest, and that's all they do.
Yeah, self-cheering.
So it's different.
They're self-cheering.
It's different
It's
now.
way different now, no doubt.
And they don't even get paid by then. That shit is like a scam, bro. That shit is like, how many billions of dollars do they get in advertising dollars? They don't even pay the skaters, right?
No.
Yeah, it's whack, dude.
Yeah.
So you got the culture that's going to look at it as whack, so you lose there. You got to fly all the way the fuck out there and be all nervous. And
No, they're going to have it in L.A., man. You can enter.
Do you have a long process for that, dude?
I know.
I'll be on some Dylan Reader shit and fucking middle fingers. Nah, I respect like the talent that it takes to go out there and do some of that shit. Like that dude Yudo and Nija and whoever else, man. To throw down that shit is wild. But I laugh at it.
Yeah.
I laugh at
what
it.
I was going to say, though, is if there wasn't a better person to win the Olympics twice, street skating, it was Yuto. He's a street skater first. He's a film or video part first. It seems like Olympics is like second to him. Which is cool because to me, that just goes to, other younger kids can see that. And be like, oh, okay, maybe the Olympics isn't everything. This two-time Olympic gold medalist is out there in the streets filming video parts.
He ever been in Love Park?
Me?
No, Yudo.
Yudo? I don't know if he
think
was
he has.
around back then.
Has he skate the pit?
Graffiti pit?
Has he been to Pulaski?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
Has he skated Pier 7?
It's a great question, too.
Sure.
Wait, that's a good. I mean,
Yeah.
So
But
what's
Chris,
your point? What's your point?
Yeah.
I'm just...
He's one of the best.
I'm just bringing it up.
What I'm saying though is that a street skater first at heart won the Olympics. That's what I'm saying.
Does he skate from spot to spot?
I'm sure he does. Bro,
Chris, I will say this, dude.
Out,
he came up a contest skater,
that's fine.
and
but
then he got into the streets
But
after.
listen, I mean, look at the 80s, though. They were all contest skaters. Tony Hawk, Christian Asoy, Caballero. Everybody was. People were turning themselves pro at contests.
But
so it wasn't anything. It's nothing new.
That's why I like the 8th Street guys.
Oh, they weren't doing contests and
I
all
don't
that
think
stuff? I don't know.
Oh, they were doing Castle back in those days.
Yeah, but that's culture contest.
Yeah.
That's for skaters by skaters.
But that's why Tampa's
This is-
awesome
this
as
is
well,
very
right?
true. Yeah,
Because
for sure.
it's skateboarders. putting on.
Tampa was always culture skate
Yeah.
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean now they do the pre-contest. They get into
Yeah.
street leagues and all that stuff. Nah, I don't hate on that shit. I actually enjoy watching it to some degree. It's mind blowing. Like for real, it's mind blowing.
To see it in person is psycho.
Yeah.
It really
To
is.
see
I think-
how they could just do shit on a command like that is fucking fun. It's
like
insane.
being able to do a trick like that when you're depending on what other person does, you're like, oh, dude, I need to get a 9.5. So you have to switch your brain into doing debatably like one of your last tricks in a video part on that moment on that one try.
Guess what happens when they get a 9.5?
What's that?
They're in the 9 club.
Yeah, that's right.
Guess where I'm at? Never been in street league.
We're in the 9. You're in the 9 club.
I'm already in the 9.
Yeah,
That's right. So was John in the 9.
You know what I mean? Actually, we have a special golden ticket to give you. We're straight into the finals.
No shit.
Yeah.
All right,
you
let's
taking
go.
it? You
I'll take that. We'll work with
No,
that.
man. Bro, this is like, first of all, I know we can talk for hours and hours and hours. We could spend 8 hours here talking to Josh.
can.
Kalis.
You could, but I could not.
You could. This
I
has been
smoked
fun.
too
This
many
has been
cigarettes and my
fun, bro.
voice is like getting crackly.
But what I want to say is like,
It's been a long time.
this is like definitely a dream come true. It's a highlight having you on the show for sure. I mean,
Yes.
I've been a big fan for as long as I can remember, you know, seeing that kick flip that we talked about earlier, the fakie flip at the Seaport Ledges, the tray flip over the trash can, and not to mention the endless video parts and everything. What I'm trying to say is like, I'm a big fan, and thank you so much for everything that you've done in your career, and because you've shaped a lot of skateboarders out there, including myself.
Yeah, same here, please. Yes.
Concur. Okay.
Well, I thank you for that. That was some pretty cool validation.
I will
And
validate all day long.
I want to thank y'all too, man, for having me on.
It was
pretty cool.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Our pleasure,
Bro.
dude.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
glad you decided to come.
And
through,
I
bro.
honestly, I want to thank everybody out there that's always like supported me and anything that I've been with, and all my homies all over the place. I know we don't see each other all the time because we're all grown now, and but yeah, shout out Dallas and Chicago and New York and Philly and Frisco, San Diego. I mean,
What about
Barcelona,
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. Matter of fact, yeah, we didn't even talk about my park.
Yeah, dude.
No,
we-
I was we're gonna give you some 9 Club stuff to take home. I was gonna ask you about the park, dude. Don't worry about it, bro. Because that park looks fun. You have Kelly, will you do the honor really quick?
I'll grab
Will
some
you
stuff.
grab some stuff for him?
What size? XL, large.
What's the stuff? T-shirts or hoodies or
Hoodies, t-shirts.
what? I like XL hoodies and large T-shirts.
Got you.
bro.
Yeah.
Kelly, there's some stuff back there too, for sure. So you built a park in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Mhm.
It's all the tiles from. Explain the park to people if they don't know, and how this thing whole came about too. I mean, it's every kid's dream to have their own park.
Well, ever since what was it, World had the first TF,
Oh my
pretty
God.
much.
Mhm.
Yeah, I really liked the way it looked. Dirty did some, and then Barracks came through and like monetized it, and whatever. But the World Park to me was like special. It looked dope with all the graffiti and everything.
Yeah.
None of the other ones in between I gave a shit about, to be honest with you, because they started getting like pretty cookie cutterish, but I know the importance of having like an indoor space where I live in Michigan.
Sure.
And I had this dream for like years of building an indoor TF type thing with granite ground because, that's kind of what I'm known for, is skating the plazas. So it's not really feasible to go and try to take all the love tiles. First, I don't want to take that away from the Philly skaters. And two, like, there's absolutely no way that I could travel with that much weight.
So going back and forth. Yeah.
I pitched the idea to DGK, and they were like, yo, stop pitching it. Like, absolutely do what you want to do. You do whatever you want to do. There's no expectations. There's no nothing. I was like, yeah, I want to play around with you two. I want to play around with whatever. They're like, Josh, just fucking do what you want to do. So they gave me all support, and yeah, I was
And
like,
a budget for it.
and a budget.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually left the budget up to me. They were like, "You just tell us what the budget is," and I was like, "All right." So I'm like cutting corners, and they're like, "Don't cut corners. Just tell us what it is. Like, we want to support you," and I'm like, "Down."
That's amazing.
So I found like some pretty cool granite for the ground and to put on the ramps, which is just like some regular flooring granite.
How did you like know that it would pop good? Did you like lay a bunch of it out? Are you testing the granite out?
Yeah, they had samples. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't small. I mean,
Nah, the floor ones are 2 foot by 1 foot big. So
2 foot by 1 foot. Okay.
it took like 1,300 tiles to do the ground.
Damn.
And me and my boys did that shit.
Really?
Hell
Yeah, I grinded the whole concrete down, and then me and the homies literally like laid all the tiles
Really?
down.
Oh, because you had to make it flat and even everything.
Yeah, we didn't care about that. we just had to cut the top of the concrete off so the mortar had something to bite to.
All right,
But
so
as
it
far as
sticks
like
in.
if there's wavies or whatever, we expected tiles to break.
Okay. I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a plan for that, which was like just grind it, let them break. We'll fix the corners or whatever ends up breaking. But you go to Paris and you skate Le Dome, like
all-
every tile's
it's all
broke.
cracked. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
True.
And I kind of wanted that. I wanted that feel.
Interesting.
And then the ledges we used, that we did go to Philly and pick up some Love Park ground, actually. Like the tiles, like that tile right there would have been one that you prop up to go over the can.
Where do they even have that stuff though? Did dump yard?
Yeah, it's all Love Park is stacked up in some like field that's completely covered in ticks, and it's all overgrown, but it's there and it's ready to be used. I think they are planning on right now like raising money to build Love Park, and I think the idea, if I remember right, is where Payne's Park is right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Wait, so they're gonna tear that down and rebuild?
that's what I think. I heard that. I could
Wow.
be speaking, but yeah. So this is like just my little fun zone. I get to grind Love Park,
Yeah.
ledges and skate on granite ground. And actually, we have to sand. We had to grind all the ground after we put it on, because after you skate it for a little while, it wasn't honed quite enough, so it was like almost too slick. It would be like skating in the mall.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we just took a grinder and just hand grinded all the ground, and now your wheels bark. It's like really good. Yeah.
Huh. And have the tiles cracked and everything, or
Fuck
have they
yeah,
helped-
dude.
Okay.
They don't break. Actually, I think we've broken pretty much all the ones that are gonna break, and we just repaired them.
Right.
And they're kind of iller when you repair them, because then you get more of that like sound when you run over them. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
That's
there
super
a? Oh, here's it all done. I want to see this. That's not it right here. I mean, it looks so good. I don't know of any other skate park that is
Dude, Zach
indoor
May,
that has done this.
That's the homie.
Yeah, well, that was the plan. It was like, what can I do for my park that's different than any other
Bro.
park?
I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah,
And
it's
we had to
definitely
build
different.
everything kind of like low impact because of the amount of space we had. We didn't, like the place isn't that big,
Right.
but what you can't see is that even though it's low impact and super easy shit to skate, it's hard to skate because everything is so close together. You drop in on the quarter pipe to hit the flat rail, and it's like right there.
You're up on it.
Yeah. Like I remember when we first did it, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta nollie crook this thing somehow, like figure it out.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a move, you know. And now like the homie John Todd did nollie heel crook on it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like
You get used to it.
yeah, you get used to
Figure
it
it out.
to a degree, but yeah, I don't know. And for me, being like, you know, older and the drop in, the quick setup and stuff like that is actually helping me out a lot too, because it's, you know, I'm like building whatever muscle and
Quick response.
Yeah.
muscles.
Response.
Yeah.
for sure.
But I'll tell you what is fucking me with though is when I go skate a street spot. Yeah, I'm strong. I'm feeling good. But goddamn, why is everything so spread out and far away from each other? Like, yeah, dude. I'm like,
You gotta push.
what
You
am
gotta
I gonna
push,
do?
Josh.
What am I gonna do from here to there? Like, it's a long
Fakey
way.
flip. Fakey flip.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Fakey flip. Do a
everything's
fakey
so
flip.
close in the thing. Yeah.
Not too good.
What is that DIY you guys have out there though? There's like
That's Clemente.
it looks pretty fun, dude.
Dude, it's super sick, dude. Yeah, it's super dope. It used to be really rough, but the homie Brandon, who's like local, he's like the Clemente keeper. You know, he hand grinded the entire ground with a 7-inch disc grinder.
No.
The whole ground, smooth as butter, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cheers to him, man.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
that's dope.
He just built like a new, I call it the kiddie pool. It's like a new little small section that ends up being fun as hell.
This is it right here? This is Clemente?
Yeah, that's Clemente.
Oh, that looks sick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He grinded the whole ground like that?
Yeah, see, that's before he grinded it.
Jesus. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's an abandoned area?
Used to be tennis courts.
Okay.
And it's the city. From what I don't know everything about it because I wasn't there when they got it all going. But I think like Premier, did they have something to do with it?
The city gave it to us.
Yeah, the
City gave it to you. Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yep.
yeah. They were like, "Yo, here you go." And I've been in a couple meetings with the city where they're talking about building, I don't know, more like plaza style skate parks because Grand Rapids is like on this crazy mission to become, I don't even know what they're trying to become, but it's like growing like crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
buildings are going up and they just got approved for like skyscrapers and condos. Dude,
wow.
I don't know what's going on.
They're going big.
They're like rechanging the river and, you know, whatever. But so anyway, Clemente is like this, don't talk about. And the people in the city know about it and they're like, hey, just make sure it's clean, but like we don't need to bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of just there.
It's there.
Right.
And as long as the skaters like take care of it.
Okay.
And, yeah. And
It'll remain.
yeah.
How did
it's
you
cool.
guys keep it clean? You guys keep it lean? Keep it mean?
Dude, there's a
Just battle
garbage
the barracks.
There's a garbage can now. And,
That's good.
And the
Yes.
city, when they mow and shit like that, they actually changed the garbage. Because it used to not be like that. Somebody would have to take the garbage.
Oh,
yeah, but
okay,
now
okay.
somebody from the city takes the garbage.
I love skaters, you know, taking care of the spots.
Yeah,
you know? I
it's
think
dope.
It's important.
And there's another park too downtown, which is like a temporary park. It was like the city put it down there just to see if people used it.
What is it, like a prefab park or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Who built that?
It was a DeVos that was on the project.
No, but the skate park company.
Gator skin people.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't like California skate parks. Or anything.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, so they have that. And when they redo this whole riverfront thing, you know, they're thinking about putting in a big ass plaza there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love that you're championing for the plazas. I mean, the big skate parks are fun, but I mean, man, like, it doesn't take much to make a skater happy. I always say, it's just put a ledge and, you know,
Yeah.
a ledge.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
I don't give a fuck about skate parks, to be honest with you. I give a fuck about culture. And so whatever they build, if it can like create a culture where it can go back to like, EMB days and Love days and Pulaski days, and like
Right,
that's what
right.
Grand Rapids doesn't have.
Okay.
You know? In Chicago, Chicago had so many like areas for that to happen. It just didn't have the scene, and it was so illegal. But now it's not near as illegal anymore.
Well, that's good.
And so you can go down to the post office and shit on a Saturday, and it's like booming, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So
dope.
that's what I really hope for Grand Rapids, and that's what I wanted for my park. Is I wanted it a place that everybody could just like come to, you know what I mean, on a rainy day, and
Yeah, man.
and it's slow moving on that side of things, you know.
Right.
Are you trying to help with the city to make that happen?
No.
No.
I worked with the city a bunch of years ago, trying to get a plaza, and they just drug their feet, and it got all mucky, and I had a bunch of money coming in from, you know, whether it was DC or whoever else, and they couldn't keep putting that money in their budget, waiting for the city,
Right.
and so I walked away.
Municipalities are hard to deal with. I mean, even DC, what did they want to give Love Park, like $1 million or something, and
Yeah.
the city turned it down?
Well, the city actually said if you guys give us $100,000 a year for maintenance and upkeep,
Yeah.
we'll let you skate there. And DC was like, all right, here you go. We'll do it for 10 years. And they denied it.
Wow.
Dude,
So
that's
whack. You're gonna say it and then you're gonna just turn
Yeah.
your back on what you
Yeah.
just
They
said.
because they didn't think it would happen.
Well, because the whole city, like on the news, you know, people that walk through, the business people and all that stuff, they liked the skaters there because it helped them feel safe. Because Love was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And if the skaters were there, then the people eating lunch and everything felt safer.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were trying to appease like those people because the news was saying, yeah, everybody wants the skaters there, and the city didn't.
Right.
Yeah, because that's valuable ass land right there.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was in a trans world where you're talking to someone and you're like, you go ask all these the shops down right here if they want skateboarding gone. They'll be like, hell no. Like like it sounded like the skateboarders made the place safer.
Not only that, but they're
They're
giving them
spending money.
business.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
business and stuff
All
too.
day.
Spending money in those shops.
I remember you
Buy
saying that.
waters and shit in there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how much money Wawa made off of Wawa iced teas,
I'm sure.
or how much Green Village made from their grilled cheeses.
See?
Yeah, like the pizza shop right now across from Muni. I forget the name of it, but dude, they love the skaters.
They're booming, huh?
They
Dude,
should.
Yeah.
I'll call sometimes. Like I'll know that there's a gang of people up in before Muni just got redone, but there would be a gang of people up in Muni, and I would call the pizza place from Michigan and order a bunch of pizzas. And send
No,
it
you
over
would
there.
really go across the street, giving the guys a pizza.
That's tight.
And they know exactly who I am. They know exactly. Yeah,
That's super dope.
and I send in pizzas. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Like, okay, let's just send us some pizza.
Yeah, man. Shit, I wanted pepperoni. No, I'm just kidding.
How far is Detroit from where you're at?
Driving is about 2 hours.
Because I heard we just had Rodney Kestner on the show, and he was like, yo, dude, there's like, he's going to Detroit right now to go film. He's like, the spots there are pretty sick.
Oh, that's what's up. You want to know something funny about Rodney Kesner? His mom, I'm pretty sure it's his mom.
Faye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lives in Grand Rapids, and she was a roller derby teammate with my wife.
No.
No way.
Yeah. So she used to tell me like, "Yo, you got to meet my son Ronnie." Like, da, da, da. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
I mean, his mom's like well into the skate
Yeah,
scene
that's
and
what he
everything.
said.
Like I knew about her just because of Instagram. I'm like, oh, Faye, must be Ronnie's mom is like
Oh, yeah.
super
She, like,
high. Yeah.
comments and shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
super into it.
Yeah.
I love that.
So if it's the same lady, but
I think it. I mean, sounds like
Yeah.
it,
It might be.
pretty funny though.
Yeah.
dude.
Small world.
First
Yeah.
of all, Josh, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, dude. Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
so much for coming by,
Good to see you, brother.
dude. Oh, don't worry, I'll get a hug later, man. Okay, we got some 9 Club stuff. Hopefully, you got room in your suitcase, or we'll ship it back to you, dude. But no worries. But here's a 9 Club T-shirt for you. What's this? A little sticker on there, bro. Got some 9 Club stuff. We got more stuff in the back too. We'll hook you up as well, brother. We got you, bro.
Yeah.
9 Club T-shirt.
Sick.
There you go. I know it's gonna get cold soon.
It's starting to get chilly out, dude.
It's
little
chilly
bit.
out here.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is.
sure it's going to be
But
chilly
in
back
Grand
there.
Rapids, Michigan,
It's gonna be
got the
chilly.
9 Club hoodie for you right there, bro.
Oh, that's what's up.
You like that?
Yeah.
You wear black?
I do.
Yeah.
I wear black, nothing but black.
Okay. There you go.
You know who
There's a
says
9
that?
Club hoodie.
Who said that?
Ice Cube.
Also, when you're in the TF, man, you got to stay hydrated with the Yeti.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
Dishwasher safe as well.
That's what's up.
And I know you're a coffee guy.
Yeah.
This Yeti.
No, I'm an espresso guy.
Are you espresso?
Yeah.
Just espresso?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can fit lots of espresso in there.
You could fit about 80 shots of espresso in here, and this will keep it hot all day long.
Damn, you guys actually got a collab with the Yetis?
Yeah, dude. They sponsor us, bro.
Damn, that's cool.
We got you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeti.
cool.
And we did a collab with Stance Socks a little while ago. Boom. You could keep those little tootsies warm out there.
Very dope.
You know what I'm saying? I think you should ride for our nut and bolt company. Okay?
Dude, I got a
you should
story.
ride-
I got a story about bolts if you want to hear something
Yeah,
about
let's
bolts.
hear it, bro. But I think you should ride for us. Okay? There's your first package. 2 packages of Allen key bolts.
So yeah, what happened? You had your bolt company, right?
Yeah.
What happened with it? What do you mean?
You don't know about my patent?
Tell me.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, I remember this patent.
Yeah, I got a patent with bolts that take an Allen or Phillips.
Yes.
They
Yes.
work. They're decent.
Bro.
But I like shut that
Was
shit.
this it?
Yeah. But I when I moved from Cali to Michigan, I just kind of like didn't do anything with it.
Wow.
Okay, really?
Yeah. And
I never seen that. That's
Dude,
fucking
I remember
clever.
when he came out with this. I remember this.
but I'm sitting on this. Actually, Independent came out with some bolts called combi bolts.
Okay.
And I had to like call and be like, "Hey guys, like I own that patent. I own the patent, but you know what? Don't worry about it." Or some. I can't remember what the conversation was, but
Okay.
here was my thinking. I was like, "All right, fuck this. They want to be dicks about this shit. I'm gonna let them sell for as many years as possible, like 20, 30 years, or right before my
Okay.
patent runs out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sue them."
Oh,
Because if I sent him a cease and desist, actually I did. I sent him a note or something like that. But they kept making them,
Oh.
and that's when I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna go after any of it because like there's no money in it.
I mean, it's bolts.
Yeah, there's no
You gotta
money.
send.
in it.
You gotta
You
sell
letting
a
that
lot.
But there's
Back
money in
up.
it. There's money in it
20 years
after
from
20
now.
years.
Possible. Yeah, that's true. That's
love
true.
it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have done that. It was just like a funny thing I was thinking.
yeah.
All right, but anyway, I quit. I shelved the bolts for a while because the move and really like getting rid of anything that wasn't necessarily DC or DGK because I
Okay.
really wanted to hone in on all that. And then not that long ago, I got a call from Jeff Kendall over at Indy.
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, man, we're thinking about maybe coming out with them combination bolts again." He's like, "Would you sell us the patent?" And I'm like, "I mean, everything's for sale, you know, except my car." But yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, "How much?" And I'm like, "Dude, you tell me what you want to offer." And he's like, "All right, let me talk to the guys. We'll come back to you." Like da da da. Now I got probably. I don't remember how much I got into the patent. I mean, but it's like thousands.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Plus all the money I spent on the early bolts and stuff. And so he comes back like with this offer of like $5,000 or something. And I respectfully declined.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm like, what? $5,000 for no.
Okay.
No, thank you. But what that did was, is it like got me fired up to redesign like the head of the bolt a little smaller than it was, probably similar to like that size.
Yeah.
And I just made 3,000 sets of them. I don't know, out of spite.
So you're telling me you don't want to ride for our bolt company?
I'm not riding for any bolt company. I'm not even doing a bolt company.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I just made 3,000 of them
Right.
and labeled them Silac, which is Kalis backwards.
Okay.
Because my grandpa had a flip map company and it was called Sir Products, which is Rick backwards because his name was Rick. And I don't know, I just started tying all this shit together in it and I was like, what am I going to do with all these bolts? You know what I mean? Because I'm definitely not going to start a bolt company, but I literally have 3,000 sets of bolts.
We'll take them. We'll take them. How much?
But then I was thinking about some of these other companies like Diamond, for example. Okay. Diamond can be whatever company it wants to be. Who knows? It could turn into a fucking beanbag company. It doesn't matter because it always goes back to its roots, which was skateboard bolts.
Sure.
It started from something. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a random ass beanbag.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have these 3,000 sets of bolts called Silac, and even if they become like tags on a t-shirt or whatever it ends up being, it doesn't matter because it's a patented piece of something that something can always be tied back into.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's lots of shit out there in the world, like the sweatpants that I did the tray flip over the can
There you
with.
go.
Those never came out.
Oh.
Never.
What were those drawers?
I don't know what they were.
They look. Actually, they probably do. They look like drawers.
They never came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I've gotten mad like messages like over the years, like, what sweatpants are those? What sweatpants are those? And then you watch somebody like Muska who's monetizing his legend. Sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's probably always good to have something in the background that you could always like fire up if you wanted to fire up at some time.
Right.
Something that has like something that's like, I don't know.
That's
Whatever,
gonna
I'm
be.
just-
It's gonna be your Silac.
maybe
That's gonna be fired up.
I don't know.
If you don't fire anything up, we'll take the bolts. Okay, we'll package them up. It'll be the Silac 9 Club.
Collab. Bolts.
Well, we'll own it. I don't know about collab.
But I'm definitely not doing a bolt company, that's for sure.
Okay, so you'll skate for our bolt company. We can put your name on the roster.
I'm not, no.
I respect that,
Josh.
dude. I respect that.
Take these headphones, bro. Okay. It was great having you on the show. No, I'm just kidding, bro. Crusher ANCs, bro. Those things got bass. They got everything in there. You're gonna love those.
That's
things,
what's up.
man. Yeah.
Skull candy.
Is that what these are?
No, these are
little
different
different.
ones.
Yeah, but these are
Skull
skull
candy,
candy,
but they're
though?
different. But those are the
Those
are
are
the
the good
You
ones.
see
Yeah, the
Nikolai
ones.
Piombo?
Yeah.
You a fan of that dude?
Dude, super fan.
Bro.
He just went pro, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
never met him, but I'm super fan.
Great kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
He's
kid.
funny
we
as hell.
we had him on the show as well. He's the best.
That's what's
Solid
up.
dude for sure.
Damn, that's sick.
I know you've had how many covers you have? A couple covers, right? Transworld? Do you have a Transworld cover?
You definitely a trans
Two
right?
Transworld,
Oh, you have a famous one. Did the San Francisco
Yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
two
Yes.
Transworld, two Slap,
Okay.
Thrasher, and a skateboarder.
Perfect. If you ever get
It's not
another
shabby.
one, if you ever get another cover, these are our stickers.
Oh, I love the Budget by Butteries, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll tune into that.
If you got a
I'll be like, budget. Just say it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just say
I
it.
appreciate
the best is when you say something real quick. It's about budget.
it.
Say it real
Before
quick.
you even finish.
Damn.
Yeah. It be like that sometimes.
Cover of Thrasher, $20.
Damn.
I know you still got it in you, Josh.
Oh, incentive?
Yeah, it's photo incentive.
that's
Just Thrasher, no Instagram stuff, none of that. But we welcome that.
But you got to send the invoice.
But you gotta say, yeah, you gotta.
It's like Christmas.
It's like the olden days, Josh, where you gotta like photocopy the photo incentive, send it to us. We'll review it. We'll see if the sticker's showing enough, and then we'll send you some money.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
opportunity to work that hard to get those incentives. But I'll tell you what, I will actually put the shit on my shit, and I'll get the photo, and I'll get the cover, and I'll do that stuff, and I won't invoice you because that's just what we should do.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not mad at that.
My
That's
guy,
what's up. That's
dude.
what's
up.
My guy,
Mm-hmm.
Josh. This has been so much fun. Thank you so
Bruh.
much for coming and hanging out with us and telling all these incredible stories and everything, bro. I really, really appreciate it. The door to this place is always open, dude. We're gonna give you the key. You can come
Damn.
in whenever you want.
That's what's up.
I haven't
wanna
heard that.
stay- you
I've
wanna-
never heard that before.
Yeah,
gonna give you
I've
the
never
key.
heard that either.
Well, it's a code. We don't have a cash key. But we'll give you the code. If you want to come here, crash, do whatever you want to do, or just come back on the show, we got you, bro.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I appreciate y'all having me on, and I appreciate all y'all for watching and putting up with my shit.
We appreciate you and your skateboarding.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah.